taking just the beat and put an artist over it. And then once you do that, yeah, let's shorten this. You need a hook right here. You need to say this over. Let's drop the sample here. You're producing the record. Yes.
So definitely, in your opinion, P. Diddy, or Diddy, as he's called now, is a producer.
Yes.
Hell yeah, he was going to Biggie like, yo, jump on this sample, we going platinum.
Yes. To have the mind frame to say, yo, I don't want you to rap, you did Party and Bullshit, we need something else. To him to have the foresight to hear him, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's production. Right. A lot of people take that away from Khaled too. You can't take that away from Khaled.
Right.
Because he knows how to get this person on the record, and to be able to do that in a composite like that, to have the foresight, that's production ear. You can't take that away from somebody just because they wasn't doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm rock with you niggas.
All right, we back. My Expert Opinion, episode 86. 86, and that's funny. 86, cut that out. We'll get into that. As usual, shout out to King Shaving Company. King Shaving, this is the stuff, man. If you're out there and you're lonely and you ain't been getting no action, this beard oil right here, I'm telling you, this is it. This is the King Seduction, King's Elixir. I like the King's Seduction personally. It's my favorite. The King's Elixir is official too. You never know. We'll see what works for you. Go to kingshavingproducts.com, promo code Hoffa Gang, pick up a bottle. You single, bro?
Yeah, my man.
You single?
Nah.
Oh,
but I'd get one still, don't
Yeah, take that one. This one to get you in trouble. This one to get you in trouble, man. Trust me. Get on the elevator, you're getting off with numbers. Of course, my man, Mr. Mecca, is in the building.
Salute.
Shout out to the gang. Moody, of course. TailorMadeLifestyle.com. Go check out the wears, the sweatsuits and all that. I got my bro.
Yeah.
Battle rap legend. I'ma say it. He's a legend. He birthed a lot of styles. Somehow, he kind of disappeared. We're gonna get into that tonight. Philly SWAIN is in the building. And another legend, he's worked with everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone. Mm-hmm. To name a few names. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Drake. I really don't have to go no further than that. But the list is extensive.
And disgusting.
When it comes to production, he is one of the guys, and we're gonna get some great information out of him tonight. Just none about. It is what it is. But Knife Wonder's in the building. How's everybody's week been going?
That's good, man. Been
good.
Just started.
So what brings you in town?
I'm teaching at the Rock Nation School in LIU in Brooklyn. They asked me to do it back in May, and I'm already teaching at 2 schools anyway, back home. I'm teaching at my alma mater, North Carolina Central. Well, I call it my alma mater. I didn't graduate.
Right.
But they claim me as an alumni. So
right.
North Carolina Central, historically black college, and Duke University. So I teach at those. They're both in Durham, North Carolina.
Right.
And usually sometimes I teach 2 during the semester, but sometimes I do the renegade shit and teach at 3. And so now this time is the Rock Nation School on Mondays, Central on Tuesdays, Duke on Wednesdays, Central on Thursdays, and I'm turning around, I'm back up here on Sunday to teach the Rock Nation School again.
So you still got time to produce, right?
Yeah.
What made you, being that you didn't officially graduate, how did you find yourself, being part of this? It's a hip hop curriculum, right?
Yeah.
Hip hop history?
Well, yeah, hip hop history.
Right.
I mean, I just got asked to come to some of my homies' classes back home after I did the Jay-Z record. Now I'm the quote unquote famous friend, right?
After you did,
Right.
I put that knife in you.
Yeah, right.
Take a little bit of life from you, and my frightening you.
Shall I continue?
So I was asked to come by to talk to a few of their classes, and the chancellor of my alma mater found out about it and asked me to come and teach.
Right.
And at first, I was like, I don't know, but then, and I sat down and talked to him. He was like, yeah, I think you should do it. And plus, it was offering something that we usually don't get in hip hop, and that's damn benefits, dog. Like dental, medical, 401k, you know what I mean? And a salary, which something else a lot, unless you unless you work in an executive position, you don't get a salary for that either.
Wow.
So, instead of me going from beat to beat or whatever it was, now I got a salary for a year.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that since 2006.
Wow, that's great. That's great. This hip hop, are there any other forums for like any other genres of music like there is for this now?
I mean, it's always been like history of rock class, classical, of course, jazz. It's a lot of schools got a lot of jazz programs.
Right.
But it's not that many schools that has hip hop programs or hip hop curriculum.
What are those like?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the classes I teach.
Right.
I teach a history hip hop course, right? Starting from the beginning all the way up until how far we want to go. Mm-hmm. Then I teach a black cinema course. Today we watched New Jack City, right? To a generation of kids who probably have never seen New Jack City.
Really?
Assume
Wow.
every kid's seen it, you know what I mean? Because this year New Jack City turned 30 years old, right? Yeah, we old as hell.
Crazy
right.
part,
Yeah.
but the crazy part about New Jack City is Barry Michael Cooper did New Jack City. He wrote New Jack City. Barry Michael Cooper, the same person who did Hustle Diaries.
And stuff like that. Like we get to talk to students about that because they don't see they ain't seen New Jack, they ain't seen Boomerang, they ain't seen House Party, like the movies we think they should have seen.
Right.
Word.
But I mean, come on, man. In 1993, did you see a lot of movies from '63? No. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm not sure they existed in a format where I could actually
But
watch
I mean,
them,
you
though.
got to know where to look. That's the thing. So
True.
I teach a black cinema course and then I teach a hip hop production course. So those are the three classes I teach in Rock Nation School.
Wow.
But back home, I teach history of hip hop and history of music production. So.
All right. So the question is, why is it important?
Oh man, super important because you got a bunch of kids that want to do this and don't know where they came from, right? And don't know where it comes from or whatever. And they want to know. I think we get the assumption that a lot of kids don't want to know, and they do. That's number one. That's why it's important.
Right.
Another reason why it's important is funny because Jim Jones and I were just having this conversation. We have to teach it before somebody else does. If somebody else starts teaching this not from our culture, they're going to change the story. Mm-hmm. And there's so many times that we've had people change the narrative of our own story, whether it be rock, whether it be, you know what I mean? So it's up to us, the practitioners of this, to teach it. Me, Jim Jones, Swiss Beats, Questlove, Bun B. It's so many of us that's teaching across the country, Young Guru. Wow. So it's up to us to make sure we tell the right story before somebody else does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have to do research before these classes, or this is stuff like you just came up paying so much attention to the culture that you just know it innately?
Some of it I paid attention to. Some of it I had to ask questions. You know what I mean? Some of it I had to ask elders about what happened, when did it happen, what's the correct story. About the importance of the Cross Bronx Expressway and its construction of it, right? You would think they just built a highway, but when they built it through the Bronx, it just tore the Bronx apart.
A lot of shit out.
Mm-hmm. Which a lot of gangs was born out of that, right? And the 1965 Immigration Act, which changed New York City's face from this one group of people to several group of people, because it was 70%. So now you got all of these different races coming in, and the best way they could talk to each other was music. So that's really like the beginning. So by the time Kool Herc got here from Jamaica, he already came in a melting pot of people to play music for us. So you're not just playing like soul, you playing funk, calypso. People bring music all across the world. So that's kind of some of the things I had to learn. It just wasn't happenstance. Two people that just get in the park start playing records.
Right.
It had to leave from one thing to one thing to one thing to one thing for us to get to that point where you got two turntables beside each other.
Right.
So I had to do a lot of research on that, asking questions, knowing who to ask. Me joining Zulu Nation was one of the reasons why. And that's basically what it is, man. Just want to make sure we want to tell the right story.
Are there any misconceptions that you feel like you're correcting right now?
Man, misconceptions that I'm correcting right now. One of the misconceptions is that everything started with Rapper's Delight. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right, let's run through it. We in class right now. Pay attention. Pay attention.
I mean, just to get it, I always ask my students, where do they think hip hop started and when? And they say Rapper's Delight, or they'll say The Message, or they'll say the kind of the de facto answers or whatever. But when I say slavery, they like, oh my God, like what does that even mean? You know what I mean? So, I start from slavery and bring it all the way up, pretty much, because it was slavery that made us sing songs to each other to run to the north.
Right.
So messaging has always been a part. And then when it's, talking about messaging, it ain't always a message, and we just talked about this today. Messages is not always quote unquote positive. Sometimes we talk about music that's conscious or not. Conscious music is not always positive. Some people believe that.
You mean like Miss Fat Booty?
Or 10 Crack Commandments. You know what I mean? Like
That's kind of conscious to me.
but to some
conscious
people,
of the rules of selling crack.
yeah, exactly.
That's what that is,
But some people won't say the shit you do in the street is quote unquote a conscious record or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll say, nah, that's not. They usually put conscious with like, they call it Backpack or Back to Africa or Red, Black, and Green or Incense. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Peace Queen. You know what I mean?
But or anything uplifting towards, which is funny because I had this debate yesterday with Q-Tip.
Sure did.
Would we consider Tupac a conscious rapper? Because a lot of his content was that.
And see, that's the thing, I consider anybody who willing to tell their story conscious. It's their story to tell. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, like for Future, Dirty Sprite, that's a conscious record to me because he's telling his story. That's all it is. So if somebody's telling their story, then they woke up in the morning, so therefore they have a right to tell the story about where they from. That's what it is. So it's something positive is one thing. It's something conscious. I'm aware of what's going on around me? That's something different. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a realm or a subject matter to say what's conscious and what's not, because I cannot tell a kid not to tell their story.
Right.
So.
Well, what if they're telling a story that's not their story?
Well, that's something else. But it's somebody. They at least had to see it, right? Nas, for the most part, not for the most part, but a lot of Nas's rhymes came from him looking out the window. Right. You know what I mean? Or being around his boys or whatever it is.
Right.
So that's still a conscious story. NBA Youngboy got conscious stories. People might not like the subject matter, so to speak, or might say the music sounds this or whatever, but his record is just as informational as anybody else.
Right.
That's what the purpose of the culture is for, to be able to tell your story on your own terms. Whether you like it or not is something else. Right. But you cannot tell somebody they can't tell their story.
So when you say hip hop started with slavery, that's a new one for me. I don't know. I've never heard this. Is that a popular thing?
I've heard it before. Many schools have.
You've heard it before?
Yeah, totally.
Can you break that down? Because obviously it's not like general information.
It's just the messaging part of it. Like in Africa, you had a thing called a griot or a bard, right?
Right.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that person was supposed to be, usually happens to a boy when they turn 13.
He was in charge of keeping all the stories of the village. He, from 13 up, almost like a bar mitzvah kind of thing. He was initiated by the senior griot. He had to, here's all the stories, year after year after year, what happened from this village, this person, this chief, this queen. You tell all the stories, and he told them over drums. And we brought that over when we came as slaves. So it's definitely a train of thought I've heard.
Exactly. And so by the time we got here, we're coming from a multitude of tribes. So being the fact we come from a multitude of tribes, we had to find a way to talk to each other. And that common denominator was, even if we didn't want it or not, was Christianity and Negro spirituals, right? So now we're in a situation where, again, we got to sing to each other in the morning. Swing Low Street Chariot wasn't just that. It was just like we bouncing in the morning, nigga. Like
wade in the water.
Yeah.
Like wade in the water was like we leaving at 6 o'clock.
Hot in the water.
Right, exactly.
That's where we gonna be at. So we headed towards the north.
Yeah, so messaging it was a huge part of, just understand how to pass messages to each other. And I kind of equate that to me when I was in the 8th grade and I first heard Public Enemy. That was my quote unquote signal to say run, nigga. You know what I mean? Like run as fast as you can, don't stop. And the similarities between that message I was getting from Chuck D and the message they was passing each other on plantations was, these are both messages that Massa can't understand. And my 7th grade teacher didn't understand what Chuck was telling me on these records. They had no idea. They thought it was mumbo jumbo.
Right.
They thought it was whatever. Like, I was coming to school questioning the Nina, the Pina, and the Santa Maria. all because what Chuck was telling me.
Right, exactly. And they had no clue. Where did he get this information?
Where did he get the information?
It keeps disturbing the class.
That's it. So yeah.
That's funny because we had Lord Jamal on, and he said when he first got his record deal, they used to walk through the labels like, yo, they don't even understand. We calling them devils on these records, and they love it. And then Q-Tip was here yesterday saying, what record was it? The Industry Shady?
Yeah.
And they made T-shirts, and they were wearing it around the office.
So check the rhyme.
Yeah, as he was calling them shady, all the executives in the office got such a kick out of it. They made T-shirts.
Industry rule number 4000.
Yeah, they had
T-shirts. People are shady.
They had T-shirts on, and they were wearing them through the office as he's walking through. They just kind of like thumbs up.
It's in broad, like messaging like that in broad daylight. They would never figure it out.
They got to know what shady means. They got to know what we mean by shady. When we say something is stupid, it means it's good. When we say bad, it means good. So if they see shady, that can mean great.
So
as far as
it was like
concerned.
the code. It's kind of like the mother jokes, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Was really like, they say, your mother this, your mother that, but they were really talking about the slave masters.
Right. Pretty much.
And they were like, they snapping on each other, but really, snapping on him the whole time. He's standing there like, look at each other.
Is that where battle rap began?
Maybe that.
Playing the
maybe
dozens,
that's where battle rap. Playing the dozens.
Yeah.
Playing the dozens.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in battle rap, you got to understand the millions and millions of kids that don't understand our culture and lingo. Right. They just watch it and y'all saying so much, and they can't even pick up on it, like at all. Like,
that's frustrating.
At all. Yeah.
Well, you got to be initiated to a degree. Y'all go back. You talk movies. You talk cartoons. You talk old television shows, you talk old albums, and these are one-line references that if you didn't see that movie and watch it at least twice, you'll have no idea why everybody in the crowd just went,
that's
shit.
Crazy.
You'll have no idea. We've been on that kind of time.
Yeah.
Talking to each other in plain sight where no one else can hear what's being said. That's why hip hop going mainstream was so cantankerous. It's a little dangerous.
Why?
Because one backlash I've seen is that we think we have the monopoly on a lot of fucked up things because we only pay attention to each other. For instance, you hear us say, that shit is ghetto, we need to stop being so ghetto with each other, why we being so ghetto, why we being so loud. Not understanding that you live in this bubble surrounded by black people. You've never seen how Asians give it up when they get loud with each other and they do shit in public and they have public fist fights and white people wilding at weddings, wilding at funerals. Like, you think you got the monopoly on being ghetto. You just don't kick it around the other people to see them doing the exact same shit that you think only we do.
The ghetto is not like it's just a description for a poor environment.
Of course.
Right.
It doesn't suggest a poor black environment.
No, not at all.
It's just a poor environment.
And the same thing with ignorant behavior. You think that why black people gotta be so, whatever you about to say, Just know that we ain't the only ones like that.
Trust me, man. Bill is in the trailer park. Like, why white people gotta be doing the same thing?
Jerry Springer had that show on for years. Wasn't no black people on that show. He was wilding out the most ghetto white people to the most ignorant white people you ever see in your life on that show, fist fighting each other, getting drunk.
I love Jerry Springer. It taught me a lot about America. It taught me so much about America, bro.
Please
you be
tell.
sitting there like, what?
Yeah, this really exists.
There's a black dude with no teeth that got like 8 white women pregnant and they all fighting on stage and you're like,
How?
this happens? Like,
Straight
what's
up.
going on here?
Straight up.
Jerry Springer was crazy and that show was #1.
For years. For years. He literally gracefully bowed out.
I mean, ain't that how Steve got his show?
Steve Wilkos. Yeah, he got one too.
Reality TV is just Jerry Springer outside.
Pretty much.
What's wrong with you people? Just watch this show, okay? Just watch this show. In the beginning stages of your career, I'm sure before that moment when you was like, okay, I got the deal, I got this. There were a lot of times, for all of us, that we're like, man, I'm about to quit. Can you describe those times for you?
Oh my God.
And SWAIN, same thing. So I'm sure battle rap had you in that
Nah,
mode.
I'll let y'all go. Yeah, yeah.
I don't never remember quitting, you know?
Or feeling like it.
Yeah, but I come from an upbringing that's different. My dad graduated high school 15 in the Bahamas, had his master's at 23, bought his first 8-bedroom house in 1995. So it was like I was always just running back to the hood and just trying to make something happen that didn't require so much labor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So music seemed like not as much labor to the mental had kind of kicked in, you know? So I never put all my eggs in one issue at a time with music, you know?
Right.
Like I do the battle rap, I did 106 in Park, I won that. Then the Fight Club stuff, then it went to Grind Time, then it was like Sony Red. I wasn't gonna keep on just battle. No, I got the deal over at Sony Red, distribution, put out my album, you know what I'm saying? And started learning the game, you know, because it's a record business.
Right.
And I knew that from the door. I started as an intern at Entre Records. I don't know if you remember Entre. It's like put out Corrupt Streets as a Mother. I ended up being the VP of that label when I came home from jail. Just from my hustle was crazy, you know, putting up posters in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning was crazy. Then I just would go to the gas station. It's an intern somewhere that need to hear the story. I go to the gas station at night and just pick up receipts off the ground from every gas station in Philly and go to turn them in and get $1,500 tax write-off. You know what I'm saying? From my boss, Joe Marone. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, as long as you bring me receipts, I'll give you whatever money you want. So I go to every gas station, snatching them out the machine.
We're gonna just blank out the name.
You know what I'm saying?
Do that, you know what I mean?
But I mean, it was on me though. You know, I was out there running. I had to bring me back receipts for everything I did. It was me learning corporate America way differently than when you trying to get some money from somebody who ain't got no money. Rather than somebody who got a whole floor in a building and a skyscraper. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude put out the movie Othello, so he got old money. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Wow.
So it was different. You know, even Hustle Diaries, the documentary thing, he the one that went and got 100,000 from Paramount for them to do that and get Barry Michael Cooper to come on and narrate the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's like an essential part of my career. That's the Takedown Records days. You know, dudes got life in prison for selling dope. You know what I mean? I was the artist on the label. I went to jail for a shooting. It was kind of different. When I came home, I was just like, I just don't want to go back to jail. It wasn't about the money with me at that point because I sold so much dope. So it was like, I don't know if anybody here sold dope like I sold dope, but once you get the money, you just feel hot. You never feel comfortable. You feel hot. You feel like, dang, you know, who coming for me? Because she's still out my pocket while I was asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're not like, everybody else ain't got this. But I'm surrounded by people that don't have much.
Right.
And I know what it felt like when I ain't have much and how I was thinking.
Right.
And they all know I
it's like
got
you're putting
it.
yourself in danger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
everybody knows I got it.
Especially if you're one of them guys that start stunting. Worst thing to do.
Right. It's the same thing in the music though. especially in the new game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when it was a struggle, you had to get everything out the label. Now it's like I got distribution through Empire. You know what I'm saying? I've been in New York a lot. We got this new crew called Spanish Fried Chicken. You know what I'm saying? It's like me, my homie Don D, then we got K Money, then we got KJ. It's like a mixture of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and black people all making hip hop.
Right.
It's the craziest thing. I got Mega Lynn. She one of the biggest movie stars in the world. You know what I'm saying? She played Vixen on the show Arrow. You know what I'm saying? She my artist. You know, I produced her whole entire album. You know, it's a different thing. You know, just the new school way of doing things where you can cash out so fast. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I done had so many ups and downs with the money, with people stealing, with people. You know, you can't even leave people at your crib. They steal pictures off the wall. It's crazy, bro.
So you had moments of quitting. It just wasn't quitting the music.
I've never had the opportunity. I've never had the opportunity to
Tell
quit.
me what it was like to quit selling dope. Tell me about that.
Because I got locked up.
Yo, I need to stop selling
Because
dope.
I got locked up.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I went to jail like for years.
Right.
You know, like I'm battle rapping every day. You know what I'm saying? Locked up in Jersey, up in Annandale and Bordentown and all that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know surf, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like really legit being in jail, people's names spreading around in that jail. So when I came home, bro, my only mindset was like, you know, I don't want to be abused, but I do want to be used somewhere. I want to be useful. I want to be utilized. Because I started feeling like my life was kind of worthless. You know what I'm saying? You know, I didn't go back to school till I was like 30. I didn't make my first beat till I was in my 30s. When Christina Milian needed somebody to make beats, and I was just like, you know, it's like a childhood crush. I'm just going to figure this out so we can make beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I got in there. You know what I'm saying? My homies had made Drunken Love. We was all living in the same apartment.
Right.
You know, struggling. They made Drunken Love, then the other niggas made We Them Boys, and it was just like, here come the money again. So I always try to just worry about mastering. Like, you might have seen the footage with me and KRS-One. KRS-One taught me, don't ever go for the money. Go to master things, because masters always get paid.
Hey, that's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I've never been able to quit because
Boom.
I've been trying to master this writing thing. You know, like we just shot a whole webisode thing that we're gonna do, kind of like a TV show pilot. I'm actually AWOL from a TV show called Toxic Behavior that's kind of like Snowfall that I'm the star of, that I wrote. So I've been always trying to master writing. I've never been trying to master battle rap or any, I just want to be the best writer.
And a couple times you hit my phone and be like, yo, Math, what's up, man? You still doing that?
Yeah.
You still battling?
You still battling?
And I'm like, yo, Philly, what you been doing? Where you disappeared to? He was like, man, I mastered this, I'm
Because
over
I
here
can hide
doing
behind
this.
the scenes.
Right.
You know, it's uncomfortable when people know who you is. You know what I'm saying? Like that battle rap stuff made me famous too fast, bro.
Yeah.
I just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah,
so I fell back. After the Hollow battle,
We've always been waiting for the money to catch up to the attention.
the worst thing in the world is being famous and broke.
Facts. Facts. A lot of pressure.
The
Lot of
worst.
pressure.
You living with some girl, you famous hell for no reason. You just wasn't famous last
Word.
week. You know what I'm saying? Now you famous. Like, especially you with Smack DVDs. Like,
Man.
bro, people just knew you for smacking somebody for a long time. It was like they didn't even know he was nice. They didn't even know he was nice.
It took him. I'd say my second battle because Solomon was a huge threat out
Solomon
here.
was crazy. That's the you exposed.
And for
like
me to
dog
take out
nuts.
Solomon, right after that, it got recognized. But there was still people that was just like, but I still remember you did this.
It was the T-Rex battle when they made a cartoon after your battle.
Yeah.
That it just kind of went a different type of viral. You know, because 200,000 is supposed to be considered viral. You know, we be reaching for 20 million and all that, but really
Yeah.
200,000 is considered
Right,
viral.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And you was going viral way before viral was viral. You know what I'm saying? For some good reasons, some bad reasons, but the collection of that never equated to wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff on the internet, like that girl went into YouTube and blew her brains out. That's a real thing. You get what I'm saying? She killed herself in the YouTube building. Like it's crazy when, you know, algorithms shift and energy shift and you can't keep it consistent. Like, let's get straight to it. Everybody keep asking about Mook Reed, the Reed Dollars Mook battle. I feel like anybody been doing something for 20-something years, including yourself, that can still make money right now in that field is crazy. You're a superhero to me.
Yeah.
Because the algorithms done changed so much from when we were building YouTube.
I think
All of us built YouTube
I think
a brick at a time.
for battle rap, it's an attractive culture, but not everybody understands the story. So a lot of people who've been there from the beginning, they stayed.
Right.
And sometimes, you pick up people, but like with what you're doing right now, teaching people the history of it, it helps them to understand, and it attracts them to like, okay, I have this knowledge of all this stuff. Now I'm hearing it in the music. Now I have a deeper connection to it.
Right.
And I think the story of battle rap hasn't been told. And as soon as it is, that story will allow other people to come in and enjoy the culture also, just like what you're doing with hip hop.
I agree.
If they don't shut the culture down, it's too much money, not enough accountants and things like that. I feel like the IRS is gonna come down hard on people, so be careful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, because recently in news, Joe Biden, your buddy, gave the IRS a pass to like
$600. If it's over $600, they can
check out
it.
Cash Apps, everything. They're
Everything.
collecting all that shit now.
They ain't trying none of that OnlyFans. The internet is built now. People keep acting like the internet was already here. It wasn't. They had to build it. They had to use us to build the internet. We built the internet. We did a lot of stuff for free, most of us. You know what I'm saying? Now it's built. They want you to pay for your buzz. There's certain people that just can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I figured it out. I got records with Travis Scott and Wiz Khalifa, me featuring them. When I was in them sessions, I made sure I got the biggest artists to rock with me so that I can go to Empire and do the deals and go to the little labels like Cleopatra and leave with 100 bands. And I seen real money. You get what I'm saying? I pay my taxes too, and it's rough. You get what I'm saying? You get this big bag and then it's like some dude you don't know at all that ain't help you with the bag. It's taking the money from you.
Come in.
Or you go to jail.
Right. Absolutely.
So I just would like to see a lot of these new entrepreneurs that actually take their time, go back to school. I went back to school. I went to LACC. I went to USC to work on who I am as a businessman. Because I was getting all this money from all these different places and I couldn't keep it.
Right.
Now I can, you know what I'm saying? Like they worth money to me. It ain't just, our friendships and our love we got for each other, because that can go somewhere else. But if we building something together, it's gonna be hard to walk away from the friendship, especially when I'm partnering with everybody. Ain't nobody signed to me. If you decide to take a hike, take a hike.
Man, this would have been a beautiful segue. This would have been a beautiful segue.
Chill out, man. Chill out.
It's all good. But yeah, now that we're in this internet era and YouTube and everything, there are like 1 million producers all over YouTube posting up their beats. I go to sessions with people and I'll listen to the music. I'll be like, yo, this is fire. Who made this? I don't know. I got it off YouTube. How do you feel about that? Being someone who's probably made $1 million a couple times off of production.
A couple times. What?
Yeah, but not okay.
What? I know what I made.
Several kind of keeps that on.
Chill. We just got finished talking about the taxes.
Without me pocket watching.
You gotta pay them. You gotta pay that man. It's a real thing.
We don't need to bring his attention over.
Yeah, several, right?
Right.
How do you feel about these producers that just be uploading their beats on YouTube?
I think they're just adjusting to the time. We live in a generation where people are not as sociable as they can and want to be.
Right.
They came with the introduction of cell phones and texting, right? It's just, and especially now for COVID, you really can't be.
Right.
So I just think it's just the kids just adjusted to the time, because wasn't accessible to, first you weren't accessible to your own home studio. That's number one. And then you get to carry over to, you could just not send your beats to anybody. If you hit somebody in the DM and they answer, it's like, oh shit, hit beat. Right. So it's just adjustment to the time for me. The only thing I think that they miss out on, and they tell me all the time they miss out on, is the fact that they really want to learn how to produce. And you can only learn how to produce by being with the artist or guiding the artist through the record.
Right.
That's the part I think they miss out on the most. And that's not coming from me. That's coming from the young kids. Like, man, after a while, you get beats, you get money or whatever. But like my man said, it's not, you want to master the art first. And the best way you master being a producer is if you sit down in the session you're able to quarterback the session. And a lot of kids ain't able to do that, man, for so many different reasons. The social skills ain't there, the social cues ain't there, a ton of things. But they want to learn how to do that because they know that's what separates them from everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say was the best record you've produced?
Is She the Reason by Destiny's Child. Because, I mean, you know my history for the most part. I came in with Little Brother. I thought I was going to produce for like, just the way my beats sounded. I thought I was going to produce for like Mos and Kweli and Common and the way they sounded. Go that way. But my first mainstream record was a Jay-Z record. That's my first mainstream. Most people work all their career to get to a Jay-Z. Sometimes they meet Jay-Z in the middle of, that's not their landing their first record. And on the album that was on the Black Album was supposed to be his last one, right?
Right.
But then I get in the studio with the #1 ranked girl group in the world in 2004. How
did it happen?
I'm really looking. Jay called me. He called me on the phone.
After
the Black Album.
put that knife in you. Take a little bit of life. Love that record, bro. I used to be playing that shit all the time. Like, I love that record.
That record changed my life, man. But he, you know, because Jay is probably the only producer in rap music history to make producers famous. You know what I mean? Most producers make rappers famous, but he said your name if he said your name on your beat.
True.
It was the tags before tags.
Yeah, it just became the tag.
You know, you niggas must have got 9 lives, 9th Wonder. Just blazing the blazettes. If he said that, it's like it's a thing.
Yeah.
So after the Black Album,
song.
yeah, right. Yeah. After the Black Album, especially after the premiere of Fade to Black, he called me and he said, "Man, the same BCD you played for me, I want you to send to this address." And he gave me an address. I'm like, "What's the address?" He said, "Just send it to this address." And I was like, "Who is it?" He's like, "It's Destiny's Child. I want you to send the same beats to Destiny's Child." And I did it. So I sent it to them.
Did you understand at that moment? Did you scratch your head and be like,
I was like,
how come?
Okay, dog. Like, and I just sent it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reason why he asked for it, because the night I played beats for Jay, Beyonce was in there anyway. She was there the night I played beats for Jay the first time.
Right.
So she heard everything I played for Jay. And so they were really going into the album thinking they wanted their sound to sound like the group, The Emotions, the R&B group, the old group.
Dope.
And I went to LA. They flew me out to LA. There was only a few of us that actually got to be in the studio with Destiny's Child, a few of us producers. And I flew to LA out there, and they said, "You're gonna meet a writer at the airport." I said, "Okay." And they gave me the writer's number. We on the phone. He's like, "Yo, Knife, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, blah, blah, blah." And that writer was Sean Garrett. That was the writer.
The Pen.
The Pen. Yeah. And so we get to LA. He said, "Man, let's go to the mall." We go to the mall and we walk in the Foot Locker, and Usher's "Yeah" comes on the speaker. And he was like, "Yeah, that's a chick of mine." And I was like, "Yo, you wrote that?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Damn, what else you working on?"
Right.
He said, I just wrote a song for this girl from Atlanta. I wrote a song called Goodies.
Sierra.
Right.
Crazy.
So I'm like, all right. So we go to the studio, and the first record we did was "A She the Reason." And the single off that album, one of the singles off that album was Girl. Girl was my first single, right? And it was the first song I had a video for. No other song I had a video, right, was Girl, the Sex and the City type video.
Shit.
Right.
That's the first song I had a video for. And it made the album, of course. I had 3 on that album. But it also made Destiny's #1s. It made the greatest hits.
Wow.
So I'm getting from both ways, right? But Is She the Reason is the one because I think that's the one that kind of made me say, well, shit, I can produce for anybody. I'm just not just doing boom bap beats for like Jay and Little Brother and Merce and De La Soul. Now I can produce for anybody now. And she told me to look dead at me and say, I said, I'm going in the session thinking, Survivor, Bills, all those records. I can't do that. That's not my bag.
Right.
But she asked me.
Were you nervous?
As hell. And she told me, she said, I want you to do you. We got you here to do you.
Right.
So I want you to chop up your samples. That's what I want from you. And 3 records came out of that. Yeah.
Word. Word.
Changed my life. Changed my life.
Well, in the same breath, I know there's a ton of records that you've produced that might not have made the album. What would you say was the? Give me like 3 of them that you said, yo, that should have been on the album. They was bugging.
For them?
No, not for
Period.
anybody. Yeah.
Man, I was lucky, man. Like every person that I produced for, every record I did for them made it.
Damn.
I've been blessed and lucky. I did one for Jay.
That's why he's teaching at school.
It made it. I did one for Jay, it made it. I did 4 almost. I did 4 for Destiny's Child. The last one didn't make it for Destiny Fulfilled. I did one for Mary J. Blige on Breakthrough, Good Woman Down. That made it.
Right.
I did one for Badu, Honey. That made it.
Yeah.
I did 1, 2, 3 for Anderson .Paak. 2 was on Malibu. 1 was on Oxnard. Made it. I've only done 1 for Kendrick Lamar, but he used 3 different beats, which would end up being Duckworth, the last record on Damn.
Okay.
Made it.
Switched up. Okay.
Right. Me and 2 Chainz did 1. It made it.
Made it.
Me and Khaled did one of the
This is his verses list.
Yeah, this is
the
crazy.
verses list.
the last Khaled record. I did the reggae joint at the end with Buju Banton and everybody on it.
Yeah.
That made
Made
it.
it.
So I don't know. And I'm trying to think. Let me see. The Ludacris record with Common Do the Right Thing. That made it. We only did 1.
Right.
Me and Drake only did 1 thing. Good Thoughts. That made comeback season.
Right.
All of the Jill Scott record I did with her, with BJ Chicago Kid.
Okay.
All of my records made it.
Yeah. So just brush it off. Just brush it off.
But I've been lucky, man. I've been lucky to be in that particular position, to have enough of a lane to myself that I got to the point in my career, I am to the point in my career that, okay, y'all, we got all of this. We need that one. We don't have one of those. So I'm becoming the one of those. But it's a lot of us, me, Alchemist, Just, so many producers, are making one of those.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so now, I don't know if you caught the episode.
I did.
Hopped right on the phone with me.
Yeah. And the episode came to me, and I was in Clubhouse in a basketball room. You know, basketball is my other life.
Right.
And I'm on the basketball Clubhouse, and somebody said, yeah, you know, Ninth was arsonist, and I was like, wait a minute, what happened? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so then I didn't think nothing of it. I just kept pushing. And then somebody sent it to me on my text to my phone. Still didn't watch it. And then somebody sent it to my Twitter. And then I said,
We moving, baby. We moving.
I said, let me check this out. And I watched it, and I said, what am I watching? They go to the 53-minute mark. And I went to it, and I was like, okay, I mean.
Space, make sure you put that clip right before this one. How do you feel about it? Wait, before you even get there, the versus thing, is that something you're interested in?
No, I'm not interested in verses because you're not battling against music, you're battling against nostalgia. You're never gonna beat the relationship somebody has with a song.
I can argue that.
Most people watching verses can't differentiate, that it can't be objective enough to say which song is better than the other. It's all subjective anyway.
That's true.
But majority of us are our memory is attached to a song.
And
so
I can say, for me,
right.
me, but I was more attached to Dipset music.
Right.
But being in the building
and
seeing what happened.
Yeah, you're right.
And we all know what happened, right?
Right.
But that made,
we all know what happened. Everybody know what happened.
But that made no sense to me.
Why?
Because you're just more of a locks type everything from how you dress to everything.
Yeah. Ain't that funny? Ain't it funny?
Yeah.
Ain't it funny? But I don't know, man. Like Cam, the whole shit, like I'm bumping that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when I did a prediction, I said Dipset is gonna take it. They got bigger records. It's more nostalgia for me. Maybe I was, at the times that I was playing Dipset, I was having a better time in my life. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
But being in the building,
change it.
changed it. On paper,
Of course.
it looks different. But in the building, might be something else.
Might be. I mean, and I think it's different because we're just up there hitting play. They're rhyming, you know what I mean? There's action in that.
Right.
We just, we just hitting play on beats or whatever. And so I don't know, like, Swizz, I'm lucky enough to belong to a chat. We call it the Vonians, and we named it after Biz Markie, right? The late Biz Markie, of course.
Right.
And it's myself, it's Quest, it's Swizz, it's Just Blaze. It's about 30 producers in the chat that I have to wake up every morning and be like, get Buck Wild and Clark Kent and Premier saying, "What's up, Ninth?" every morning. It's a dream, right?
Shout out to the OG Clark Kent.
And
right.
and when the verses first started, me and Swizz was talking about it, and I asked him. He asked me to do one. He said, "Who would you pair yourself up with?" I said, I got one better for you, man. Don't pair me up with anybody. If you will, how about you go do this type of verses? Drop a damn sample, and we got 5 minutes to make the beat."
Q-Tip said the exact same shit yesterday.
That's when you really, because you can get in it, you're dealing with somebody's production. That's what it is, and the artist helps it out, and you know what I mean? That's what it is.
Who do you think would be the champion in that type of setting?
Whew. In 5 minutes?
5 minutes. And let's be honest, y'all going to cheat. If you know what the sample is before you
Well,
get
if
there,
you know, you can't help it.
You're going to cheat.
Right.
You're going to cheat.
Yeah, you can't
And
help.
you can make it, remake whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah.
constructed in 5 minutes, then cool.
Right.
But
That's not
That's
cheating.
crazy.
That's having knowledge of. That's a body of music living in your head. I don't consider that cheating. If you know, you just know.
If you know, just know.
If this other guy didn't know, that's not my fault. He didn't know.
do you feel like you would dominate in that setting?
I think I'd be one of the best ones, yeah. I think so.
I know somebody who's been doing that for years, and he might want to challenge you for that.
Who's that?
A-Rap Music.
Okay, I mean. And I got a lot of respect for him. Yes, he
He's a
can.
good beast.
Yeah.
I don't shortchange any producer that have walked this path, regardless of what. Taking records and turning it into something else, to be able to maneuver a beat machine. And when it comes to sampling, the lanes of being able to sample and it sounds like you is getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. So if you carve your lane in this particular thing we call sampling, hats off to you, whatever.
Right.
So when Arsonist was like, I think I'll battle knife and, whatever, I didn't take that as, you know what I mean? I didn't take that as that.
Wasn't no competitive vibe like, I know he ain't really just.
I mean,
Come on,
There's
come
none
on.
of that. Like,
don't
come
do
on.
that. Don't do that.
Come
You
on.
guys don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
There was a conversation.
We had a conversation. We had a conversation.
He called me after he saw it.
I saw it, yeah. Because, and the reason why, because I know, I was like, wait, is that Mecca sitting in there? So I called Mecca.
Right.
And we were talking, and I said, man, he said, hey, you got records? Well, I got records too. And I started reeling off all the records that I had.
Right.
All the Destiny's Child.
Just
and
now,
all of
same
the
list.
Jay-Z and
Right.
the Kendrick records and all of this, and the Nipsey Hussle record and all of that. So
So you're feeling like,
you trying, man. You really trying.
no, I'm just saying. You're here now
You really
after those statements.
Yeah, I'm not a versus dude. I'm just
Right.
not, period.
But
That's
that
what he said
5-minute
then,
challenge.
Yeah, I would do that. But
Against the greatest.
But I also, heard Arsonist say, which is very important. It's just people up there loving music. You know what I mean? If we can get something together that, I challenge all of us to get together and just do like a tour of us just going from city to city playing music. I got a partner by the name of Gene Brown who goes around selling like sample records to all of us, right? He's like the arms dealer for us, pretty much. He the plug, right?
Right.
And at his birthday party a couple of years ago, he had us pull up and play our samples our beats out of the machine, right? That's the kind of crazy stuff. He had Easy Mo B came and plugged his machine up and played Flavor in Your Ear out the machine.
Wow.
That's the type. He held the disc up in the air
Right.
and was like, and played it. He played Warning, and I'm like,
Flex.
Off the disc.
Disrespectful.
That's the kind of stuff I think that people will want to see. That if you actually pull out the disc and be like, boop, and play it fresh out the machine.
Wow.
That's a celebration I think we need to do.
Well, nothing stops you from organizing that for verses. Nothing stops you from doing
Nah,
it.
it doesn't. Nah, I mean,
You got the machine, you made the beats,
Right.
he made it. Hold on. Just, the challenge was clear. Like,
Yeah, clear.
he made a clear challenge. He wasn't
Clear
beating around the
challenge.
bush.
Nah, not at
There's
all.
no malice in it.
No,
right?
None.
And I'm gonna keep it tall. Your energy on the phone with me was the exact same energy it is right now. He's not bullshitting.
No.
When he got on the phone with me, one of the first things he said is, "I'll never do it." And then he ran down the list of records, which pissed me off.
Right? That's the same thing Tip was doing.
Exactly. Like,
Same thing.
Why
I'll
are we
never
even
do
playing
it.
this game? Like, why would you?
I'll kill one of these guys, but I'll never do it.
That's
I
I'm
didn't
like
say
like,
energy.
that. I didn't say that though.
And I said, no, he ran down the list, which had me aggravated as shit.
Right.
Like, I would love to see you.
He said, that's
bring
10 records right there when I said what I
Yeah,
said.
rattled off a small. And Alchemist said, I want to go 10. And then he rattled off 10.
what was the
Not
10?
Alchemist,
What was the
Arsonist.
10?
No, Arsonist.
What
Not
was the
Alchemist,
10?
Arsonist.
My 3 Destiny Child records, my Jay-Z record, my Nipsey Hussle record, my Kendrick Lamar record. How many is that?
6.
6.
Oxnard.
Yeah, my Anderson .Paak records, the Ludacris record that I have, the David Banner records that I have.
There was another one you said. Did you say Jay yet? Jay.
I said Jay.
Yeah, he said Jay.
I said,
Jay was
did I
3.
say- did I
There was
say
one
Nipsey?
Jay
more.
was 4.
I
You said Nipsey. He didn't say Drake.
I didn't say the Drake record.
No.
That's
10.
10. That's
The
and Mary
Drake
J.
Mary
Blige.
J record.
Mary J record. That's 10.
10.
That's 10.
Arsonist, if you out there. If you out there. That's the clip. That's the clip right there. Can you make it happen?
Okay,
Can you make it happen?
Here you go.
We're waiting for you to respond. but I did get a call from a couple producers after that episode. And they was like, yo, A-Rab was kind of tight. He was kind of tight. He
From
was
the
like,
episode,
He was
yeah.
like, nah, man, I don't think he know what I'm doing out here. I don't think he knows. And I know what A-Rab does because we met each other. I was hosting a beat competition. And what he did to this kid that night was unfair.
Nah, he's incredible.
Live on the machine. And if that's the type of challenge that you guys like, the producer versus, that would be incredible.
I think that should be the second half of the verses. How about, because the format has already been put out there, how about you go 10 records, and then instead of going another 10, instead of doing 20, you do the first 10 records out of the catalog, and then the last half of it is chop and sample. Shout out to EOW, end of the week. They do that right now.
Shout out
Like,
to
that's been
EOW.
their format for like the last couple years,
Right.
since Rest in Peace, Vice Versa. Ever since he passed, they started adopting that, and they've been doing that. So why don't you hop into
trying
this
it, man.
infamous ass group chat that you on,
Y'all trying it.
talk to Swiss,
Yeah, that would be.
tell him he heard it here first, my expert opinion
Oh,
show.
good.
Look,
Bunch
you know
of
what's
experts.
funny? When you start off like pursuing a career in this culture, there is a fire, that competitive fire that
Always.
you're like
Especially if you play sports.
battle rapping,
Yeah,
right?
battle rap, yeah.
Battle rapping. You're like,
I got
I'm
a
better
que-
than
I got
these
a
guys.
big question for you though.
Hold on. You start off with that fire.
Okay.
What happens to it?
It's still there.
But it's no longer. I
You
will
get
do
less
this
impressed.
publicly.
You get less impressed.
This is very true.
Less impressed.
Yeah, because at first it's like, oh my God, this. Many times we underestimate who we are and overestimate who we are not. So once you go find somebody who you thought was better than you, isn't really better than you, or doesn't have a great personality, then you kind of be like, oh man, I thought that was Michael Jordan, and it ain't really Michael Jordan.
What was that for you?
I don't want to kill nobody.
See? This is what happens. We in the barbershop. You know what kind of conversations happen in the barbershop. Yeah, no, yo,
Yeah, I
it
don't
is
want to
what
kill
it is.
nobody because they from Philly, But
Oh, okay. All right, but
when we
you threw a
was
little
kids,
splash.
when we was kids, them rappers in Philly was the biggest in the world. Then you be around them and they be short at the counter for a cheesesteak. You be like, damn, you ain't got no money, bro. Like you've been on tour, 52 states. We've been watching. You ain't got no money. You thought that came with like a pension or something, but it don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Right.
come with no union,
But
no
it's the
dental
skill,
plans.
though. It's the skill that we talking about.
This is what I want to ask him that's really important for
Yeah.
Because this is this should fucking blow the internet, because I need to know this. I didn't start making beats till I was like 31, 32, right?
Okay.
Right.
So I can't use a beat machine. As much money as I make off beats, I can make them without a mouse.
Right.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, to be in a day and time where it's like, and the most of the people I've been around can't do it either. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
without like, people like Mike Dean and yourself like really holding this together, like, do you still consider us producers? Cause like, you know what I mean? I can't,
I was gonna ask that question
I can't do that.
about.
I can make,
Yeah.
I make the
Oh, you still
songs, I
considered a
produce everything
producer.
for my team.
Right.
It's original, I can make it from scratch. I just didn't come in like I had an MPC, I sold that joint like 2 days later. It was like, why am I even?
Right. Yeah, of course. Right. Of course.
Like,
Right.
I be with Jerome Harmon, you know Jerome Harmon at all?
Okay.
So J-Rock, I be with him, he got the whole Ableton thing. He trying to keep it new school, but it still look like the beat machine to me.
Right.
When I'm with Metro or Dre Moon or when I'm with them, they just dragging and dropping, you know. They may have some super engineer to come in if they want to do something technical,
Right.
but for the most part, Future can get an album tonight, you know, off of some dude's laptop.
Of course.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I just be wondering, because for years and years, I was trying to learn that, and it just didn't really, you know, maybe because I didn't learn from a pioneer, nobody like that,
Right.
but I can't learn that. I can't learn that shit. that
You
y'all do.
can't.
You could.
You can't.
You could.
I used to make beats.
Okay.
But my motivation came from, I used to go to the studio, and there was a producer there. They used to engineer the sessions.
Right.
And I'd be like, yo, give me some beats.
Right.
And he'd be like, I tell you what, if you help me out throughout the week, every Friday, we'll do a session, I'll make you a beat.
Right.
So I can have something original, because all I was doing was freestyles. So a couple Fridays went by, it didn't happen.
Right.
Rather than putting my hands on him, I decided if I'm in here, whenever he's not here, I'm just gonna get on this machine.
Right.
And I got on the machine, I started making beats for myself, and eventually he was walking in the room like, yo, who made that? And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Right.
That was my motivation. But once that studio shut down, I had to pay for studio time.
Right.
It was over, because it took me like a good 5-6 hours to create something.
Right.
Right.
You talking about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Forget it. Like, that's not happening. So, do you consider, like, because I can still sit behind a producer and be like, look, take this sample, get the OPP drums, slow them down, da-da-da. I can still do that.
Yeah.
But do you consider that being a producer?
Yeah, I consider that more than somebody who's just standing and makes a beat and sends it off. You understand? First, to answer your question, I started on a computer.
Okay.
I started on Fruity Loops. That was what I started on first.
crazy.
I made Jay-Z's Threat on an IBM ThinkPad.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Okay. So I started, and that IBM ThinkPad, I ain't have a mouse, dog. It had the little red dot in the middle that you had to move the little red dot for the cursor.
Wow.
So I started with that, and I was laughed at a lot for making beats on
Right.
Fruity Loops for a very long time. I didn't start using like an MP until I started on Fruity Loops in like 1999.
Right.
Wow.
I think we're on Fruity Loops version 20 now. When I started on Fruity Loops, it was 2.56.
Okay.
So
In
I didn't pick
99.
up in 99.
That was the
2000.
latest version. At 99.
2.56 so when they first started.
Yeah.
That was
And then they
high-tech.
changed the name to FL Studio.
Right.
And then I didn't pick up a beat machine like an MP to 2008. And the only reason why I just wanted to learn it, because I was saying the same, I don't know if I can learn that.
Right.
But I ended up learning the beat machine, and then I ended up getting machine, like the machine. But Fruity Loops is where I started. Drag and drop, click, 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 click. That's how I made, out of all the records I've named, all of in the studio with Destiny Child, Beyonce's daddy walks in, and I'm making Girl, I'm making the beat to her. And Sean is writing the lyrics, and he come in, and then Beyonce drops the first verse, and then her daddy walks in, and he said, that's a smash hit. He walked in and said, that's a smash hit. And Beyonce turned and said, ooh, daddy, he made it on that, and pointed at my laptop. He made it on that, daddy. Look, that it was a lap. It was a Hewlett Packard that I got from Best Buy. So, production, man. I was just talking to a student today about because today in my production class, the lecture was on Dr. Dre. And the students started talking about, Dr. Dre versus Puff versus JD or whatever, and they brought up Puff's name, and the students like, Puff ain't no producer. Yes, Puff is. Are you crazy? Like, what you just said about standing behind somebody saying, do this, do that, make this, nah, turn that down, nah. That sample's too fast, that sample's too slow, we're taking away the feeling. Those innate things, if you can hear those, you are producing this record without a shadow of a doubt, if you can hear those things.
Listen, I just want to say something. That's Knife Wonder. Jay Glaze, you owe me some production credit. You owe me production credit. I don't want to hear it. That's Knife Wonder. He said it.
Yeah, it's a production, man.
Some producers feel like you're not a producer if you're not hitting the buttons. If they got to hit the buttons, then, they should get all the credit.
We don't know how many buttons. We don't know how many buttons that Quincy Jones hit on Thriller. Do we know this? Like, we don't know if he's he just had the know-how. He got to the point where it's like, I don't got to touch nothing. I can just tell y'all what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, that's production,
That's
dog.
how you get, I've always felt, pardon me, because this is the journalist in me coming out. Whenever I've had to describe exactly what's happening in front of me, I've always found ways to put certain things into a certain perspective. What you just described that Quincy Jones is doing, what you just described you did over your man's shoulder, I've always considered that composing. You composed it.
Production, whatever you want to do,
Producing, for me, was always the definition that you gave. You have to sit in the room with the artist, you got to map the whole thing out. What Arsonist described, he does with Jim Jones. He sits there, overlap, he sees the whole board, I see the whole vision, the album from start to finish. I'm going to put it together sonically, and you tell the story. Production. Beat making. You can be a beat maker. Crank out, knock out, slap, beat, banging beat, and then turn your composer brain on and say, okay, you rap over this. This one fits you, we're gonna do it, and then tailor it around them. So I think you can wear more than one hat. I don't think you can be, you don't have to be just any one thing.
I don't think you should debate this. He teaches at college. I don't think this is up for debate, bro.
This is me.
I don't think it's up for debate,
This is
I want his credit.
It goes back to what he said in the beginning.
This is me asking what he thinks. I want to know if
it goes back to what he said in the beginning. If you end with the artist, it's different. Like I got records with,
and that's why I'm asking.
Right.
This
I got
is why I'm
records with
asking.
Tiger, where I went in and did writing, but ended up getting production credits.
This is
And I
why
ain't
I'm
produced
asking.
nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, that's the perfect way to put it. You're not really the producer until you end with the artist.
If you're in there and kind of guiding the session or guiding, nah, that verse is too long or say that over or whatever, you're producing the record.
Right.
Like, you're producing the record way more than the actual dude who made the beat.
Right.
Because once the dude emails the beat off, then you're just in there. Like, one of the biggest things Jay said to me is when he did the first verse and the second verse of Threat, okay? And he said, all right, I'm about to leave, produce the record. I'm looking at him like, what? Like,
What does it mean?
he said, produce, what does he mean?
You went to Mecca, am I beat making?
Right,
Am I doing that? Like,
He said, produce
what
the
we
record.
doing here? Yeah.
And he was like, man, produce the record. I'm about to leave, I'll be back. So I'm like, okay, so then all of the drops of the tats and all of that, that's me telling, and I'm not touching the thing, like it's my beat, but I'm not touching. Young Guru, one of my best friends in the whole wide world.
Shout out to Guru,
Salute
man.
you, Guru.
Guru, where you at, man?
He said, you want to drop here? And this is before I learned Pro Tools.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah, put it tat right here. I make a hum to you. When the other one sing along, let's put R. Kelly sing, like that right there.
Right.
All of that stuff, that's production.
Yeah.
So if you've done that, taking just the beat and put an artist over it, and then once you do that, let's shorten this. You need a hook right here. You need to say this over. Let's drop the sample here. You're producing the record. Yes.
So definitely, in your opinion, P. Diddy, or Diddy, as he's called now, is a producer.
Yes.
Hell yeah, he was going to Biggie like, yo, jump on this sample, we going platinum.
Yes. To have the mind frame to say, yo, I don't want you to rap, you did party and bullshit. We need something else. To him to have the foresight to hear him. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's production.
Right.
A lot of people take that away from Khaled too. You can't take that
I've
away
heard
from
that.
Khaled.
Right.
Because he knows how to get this person on the record, this person on the record, and to be able to do that in a composite like that, to have the foresight, that's production ear. You can't take that away from somebody just because they wasn't doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri versus Diddy.
Shoo! How you do that? How you bring that up?
Who wins?
I'm too East Coast. I gotta go with Puff. That's Biggie's producer.
Who wins?
I asked this
I want to
question.
go around the room with this too.
Diddy.
Why your foot moving like that? Somebody got a check for you? What's going on, son? What are you
Hold
worried
on,
about?
what, I mean, besides like, I'm just so not from Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not.
No,
I can't-
I don't have to be from Atlanta
They're
to
gonna
know.
go. They're gonna go
to
record for
understand that.
record.
His hand has been in a lot.
Yeah,
Jay-Z
I'm not from
gonna-
Atlanta,
yeah.
so I
records.
can't understand it like Puff.
You have 20 records.
Puff was the man.
20 records.
JD gonna get into that Mariah Carey. He gonna dip into that
He gonna get in that
Usher.
Usher confessions bag.
Like, dude,
Once you get in that Usher bag,
you sit here
get in that Usher bag,
niggas is
it's
making it sound like it's an easy choice.
kind
Like
of a fight.
I'm conflicted.
Here's the
But
question.
then you got the
gonna pull out-
Mary
Of course
bag.
you got
the
life
Mary
after
bag.
death.
You got the Jodeci
Faith
bag.
You got the
But you only get 20 records.
You only get 20 records.
That's where the strategy comes. You only get 20. You can't play the whole album. You got to pick the joints that's gonna top his next joint. And everybody got big jokers. So what are we doing? Like, to sit here and for me to tell you hands down it's gonna be one dude?
How do you, like,
I
who
don't-
shot you? What does JD?
That's what I'm wondering, like, for real?
Yeah, and
Right.
that's fair. But you got to understand, when they go the first 10, he'll play Who Shot You, and then JD will play something. But then the second 10, if JD goes first,
Bruh, you following Confessions?
Tough to me. It's a lot easier.
I'm just saying, like, Puff may edge it out because of. Well, here's another thing too. Where are they gonna do it?
Total makes
What city? If they do it in New York, of course. Like it's
They gotta go to LA.
Right.
No, they gotta go to
It
LA.
has to be a neutral
It has to
site.
be neutral.
Has to be a
gotta
neutral-
be neutral
It has to be a
ground.
neutral site.
Or Miami.
Right.
It can't be. Miami is the South though. They got to do it in LA. They got to get away from the Eastern Seaboard altogether. They can't even be here.
I think Puff has definitely. Oh damn! I can't
See?
even say. But he has a huge edge, hip hop wise.
Yeah, of course.
R&B wise, it might be a little fight.
Nah. He got Usher my way.
No,
He don't have
you
nothing.
skipping
he
hip
got
hop.
Confessions.
You
No,
skipping the hip hop.
No, I'm not skipping it.
No, JD got Confessions, right?
JD got Confessions.
But don't Puff got Usher my way? Wasn't he part of that?
No, that's JD.
Yeah,
He was
and-
a part.
But
He was a
he
part
does
of
have
that.
"I Need a Girl" though,
He does have
and the
Usher-
remix.
He does have Usher song.
And you
He
start
does watch
talking
the song.
when you start
Yeah.
talking about hip hop, JD gonna pull out the joints he got with Jay.
Money
Don't
in the-
forget when he was
Money in the
actually
Fame.
rapping. Like he's
I
gonna
mean,
pull out
Puff
his
got
money.
Jones with Jay too.
That's a fact.
Yeah, not when he wrote. Not when he wrote his own shit.
But it's
Got
still
joint-
great
look,
though.
Look,
That
this
joint
would
with
make a
him,
flip.
Biggie,
Puff
and
got
Jay
joints
is-
with Buster.
Factory settings, and it becomes
Yeah,
different.
Benjamin's is crazy.
Now Benjamin's is crazy.
Yeah.
But again, it all goes down to what's being played and when. Because I've watched a lot of verses, and one record can throw the equilibrium off of somebody else. It's like, oh, and they get to scrambling.
Right.
But it's tough.
We just saw that with
I
the
just
Lox and
don't see Puff
Dipset.
scrambling, man.
Those were big records.
You're
Puff
right.
Daddy.
You're right.
No,
You're
no,
right.
no,
It's
I'm-
hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
And Puff's a better performer too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's that.
That too.
And he
know,
talk
There's
way
that.
slicker.
Yeah,
It's just like,
exactly.
But if-
Well,
it's
Jermaine
like
joked
Jada
him,
Kiss to
he
me.
was like, "Yo, I'll dance you too."
Yeah,
I was
but
like,
he
yeah.
just, he just talking though.
Exactly. Puff is a
Puff,
Yeah.
Puff,
yeah.
Puff,
Exactly.
Puff birthed
Right.
Bobby Shmurda. Bobby Shmurda is the new Puff when he dancing to me.
Oh, that dance?
Yeah, that whole
Yeah,
hot
right.
nigga was Puff.
If
Right.
JD start qualifying, talking
know?
about but I wrote it. Yeah, but I wrote it. He plays them crisscross records like, yeah, but I wrote it. Like I wrote these for them. I didn't just give them the beat. I
think-
wrote these records. Like
I don't.
You gotta
I don't know if that's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that's
Exactly.
gonna work.
Because if you punch somebody in the confidence,
It's
and
cool. You wrote it.
doing that.
Is it a
Yeah,
better record?
but it was Jada Joe. It wasn't Jada like 50. It was Jada Joe. Joe ain't really that to me. Like he cool, he a good rapper, but he not like a hit dude. Like hit after hit after hit.
Right.
Ja Rule, that's all he was on for a while.
Was hit.
well, he was running the charts.
It's still
Mix
Ja
match
Rule.
battle.
You know what I'm saying?
As long as everybody leave Dr. Dre alone, that's all. Just
Nah,
But
Puff wants
to
that smoke.
with Dre.
I would rather see Puff versus Dre than Puff versus JD.
Look at
Yeah,
that
me
face.
too.
Look at that face.
Me
Look
too.
at that face.
You know?
Much better battle.
It's a
Look
better
at that
battle.
face.
much better.
Not according to
Look,
that
I'm
face.
gonna do
I feel
something.
like
I'm gonna do
Dre's gonna
something.
win. Dre got records like Coming From Where I'm From, Charlene, stuff that y'all just don't know he had nothing to do with.
He
Yo,
wasn't playing none of those.
Listen, man.
He wouldn't
He's
have
not
to.
playing Charlene.
He wouldn't have to.
Dre is not playing Charlene.
This is what we got to understand about
Yeah.
the good Dr. Dre, man. And shouts to Puff and JD. They are producer gods. They are my predecessors. All of that shit. Dre is responsible for Straight Outta Compton, The Chronic, Doggy Style, and Get Rich or Die Trying. Just them four alone by themselves is nuts.
And all the Slim Shady, everything.
Yeah, and I skipped over that.
Right.
Those 4 albums, yo. And then he got the Blow Your Mind with Gwen Stefani. He got Family Affair, Mary J. Blige. He got Phone Tap. Yeah, he got a lot
The firm
Yo,
records.
it's a lot going on with Dr. Dre.
But if
That
that
don't
Puff
check
leverage
something.
come in
I need
there
to
the
check
wrong
something,
way,
man.
he could take
got a
that
lot
L.
going on.
Because
That don't
Puff got a
trump
lot
Puff,
too, man.
Yeah,
that
man,
don't
but
trump
man,
Puff, though.
Yeah, y'all
Ooh,
can't
boy.
count out Puff, man.
I'm not counting Puff out.
Nobody
Dre.
in here who's
Dre,
I'm
ain't
gonna be
count Puff
quiet.
out.
I really can't call it. There's a production guy in here telling you he can't call it.
Right.
Like I'm
So in your
I
opinion,
defer.
In your opinion, you feel like Dr. Dre is gonna be unbeatable.
He's Thanos.
He's Thanos.
shit.
I gotta look up this
Kevin
discography
Hart.
Not
real
to say
quick,
nobody
man.
not to say nobody shouldn't battle him. That's not what I'm saying. But I think Puff will be the
Yeah,
closest.
if it ain't Puff, then
I think it'll Puff.
So
will be the closest.
let Diddy. So
Who gets that?
if we're saying if we're saying those two are off the board, right? Puff and Dre are now off the board. The same way we've always considered Nas and Jay-Z to be a lock to do their thing. So who does Jermaine Dupri get? If Diddy's off the board, who's his match?
Pharrell. I think JD and Pharrell make that.
JD and Pharrell.
that
That
good
is
music.
a good one.
Like that
Or JD and
dance
Timbaland.
party, clean.
Timbaland.
Timbaland.
Or JD and Timbaland. I'm saying leave Dre alone, bro.
Timbo might have to come
what
out
I'm
from
saying.
behind the versus screen for that.
God.
Timbaland.
But then he go
But he
against
already
somebody.
did. He already did.
He went
it,
against
bro.
Swiss, right?
Wait.
Teddy Riley.
Oh, Teddy Riley.
Wait.
No, Teddy Riley did.
Wait. We moving too fast, man. We moving too fast. I'll be missing you.
10 million sold.
That's a round. No Time, Little Kim.
That's a round. You say I'm
not
missing
saying
you
that.
around?
I'm missing you as a round.
You think that's it?
Yes.
What if I play California Love?
Versus I don't know, son. I don't know. Can't
that's
hold me
kinda-
down.
Yeah. I mean, we forget.
Nothing but a G thing.
Fuck me
You
running.
keep saying no.
More money, more problems.
Still Dre, explosive. Like when people hear that,
it's over.
bruh, that's hard. What? Keep
I
going.
love to see it.
I need a girl.
Gin and juice.
Victory.
In the club.
Victory.
In the
Stop.
club.
Victory. No.
In
the
the
club
club.
is not beating victory.
Yes, it
It
is.
is not beating
Yes, it
victory.
is.
No, it is not. I'm telling you it's not. Play it back to back. You're not going to get the same feeling.
What beat is harder?
Son, victory,
man.
you understand what how
Nah,
people,
man.
you throwing
yeah,
victory?
I understand victory, but you hear that boom, boom,
In the club,
go,
they needle.
That's
go,
cool.
go.
But when you hear that, it's over.
Forgot about Dre. Next episode.
Hold on.
Next
hold
episode
on.
might be next ep. But
Black
you
Rob,
okay?
whoa.
But Black Rob's whoa.
Whoa.
Dre Day.
I mean, you got so many things. We naming the obvious stuff.
Name
for Puff.
another
And this is
Puff
crazy.
could
I
go
never met Puff,
to
but I
stuff
know
that's
Dre.
not obvious.
And I
Right.
still just
And I ain't even played
feel like
Big
it's
Cumber
Puff,
yet.
man.
He ain't played one.
John,
Dang.
you covered Warning. It's taking that out.
He ain't
Sorry.
played one in
I'm
yet.
East
Warning is
Coast
taking
like
that
a
out.
motherfucker. Like this nigga made Biggie shit. Like we for real, Juicy.
Yeah, but
that don't matter.
He made
Lie.
Snoop.
Nah, it definitely matters.
Yeah, but then when he plays, what's
Total, we
my
forgetting about
Faith.
the total joints.
I mean, I don't know.
112.
Nah, that's gonna hit.
I don't know.
That's gonna hit.
You know when this is
Mace.
gonna when this is gonna become
Yeah.
a thing? Like when what's gonna start making a factor? Who goes first?
Yeah, for sure.
Who goes first?
I just
and
You know
who
who
that
sets
is
the
gonna-
tone.
Yeah,
I feel like-
exactly.
I feel
sets the tone.
Because you
And
gotta
it's a
beat
counter.
this record
I
now.
feel like Puff
Yeah, that becomes a different
invented
thing.
swag in the industry as far
Right.
as we see it. You know,
Right.
he brought that. I can do what I want.
I
And I just
100%
don't think
agree
you
with
want to
that.
stand in a room with him and some Ciroc. I don't think you want that. I don't think nobody want that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Puff Daddy. Like you know what I mean? It's a certain level. It's Puff.
Dre would have
Daddy.
to pull out a bottle of gin and juice.
Yo, listen, man. And Snoop up there, man. Especially they start bringing, look. If Snoop
If he
getting
start
up there,
bringing
Snoop
out, that's
Crip
not
walking
fair.
and
That's
so
not
much
fair.
drama in the LB.
That's not
That's a
fair.
whole
Yeah, that's
That's
only
not
because
fair.
Biggie gone.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not fair.
yeah.
That's a slant. You can't even.
But
Y'all just gotta
But
play.
you're gonna
it.
bring
brought out the
Snoop.
locks
Right,
though.
yeah.
You're gonna
Right.
bring Snoop.
Well, if he brings Snoop, Jada gonna embarrass Snoop lyrically.
Eminem come out. What are you gonna do?
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing.
Yeah, shout out.
Because
to
Nah, there's a lot.
Puff's biggest.
There's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of moving
That's
parts.
like 100 million records sold in the room.
Like,
at
for
one
real.
time.
Dre
Yeah.
brings out Snoop, 50, Eminem, and the cast of The Chronic. Like just corrupt.
It's
Dad
a whole
start
lot.
like
It's a whole lot.
it gets ugly.
It ain't no fun
Mace.
when the homies
Wait a minute,
can't
we're
have
forgetting
none.
about French.
That's what I'm saying. French is relevant
Forget
now.
about
Ain't
French.
signed
But
to
you only
Puff.
got 20 records. You only got 20.
No, Puff is gonna have to lean on the R&B.
Puff is a different type of beast, man. I'm telling you.
Say what?
If I'm Puff, I'm not bringing French out for Dre.
No.
That's not happening.
That's only. It's only.
You need the gods. You need the all the like. No disrespect to French, but
No disrespect to French at all. Right.
but you need that old catalog. You need that 20-year,
So
20-year
you
back
telling
catalog.
me, don't stop, pump it, don't stop. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna win a rap.
It's nah.
No, for,
Dre got
That
too
is a
many
French
counters,
Montana record.
but he got too many counters. Dre got too many counters for something like that.
Nah, bro.
I'd love to see it. I just
yeah,
want
I
to see
think
it.
that
I
would
love
def-
that record though. No. The record's crazy.
Right.
The record, the French Montana record is
Right.
nuts.
Listen, that was one of the records that I've never stopped hearing in the club. You know, after a while, it's like they're not gonna play it after a while. No, they're still playing. it.
But there's
Still
a
playing.
sense.
More
There's a
than the
sense
original.
of remember what he said earlier. The reason why verses work so well is because of the nostalgia and the emotional attachment you get to these records. It's more than just a hit. You remember where you were in life when that record
Absolutely.
comes on.
Right.
The attachment to French's record is not going to run as deep as the attachment to any one of those records we just mentioned
It's
from
damn
Dre.
Dre
It's just
Day.
yeah,
That's a lot.
it's
That's
just
a
a
lot.
deeper attachment. It's just a
lot.
deeper attachment.
it is
You
a
just-
lot, man.
That's a lot.
You just
That's a
feel,
lot.
but I love Puff for wanting it.
Hey,
and I
hey,
want
for
to
the
see it happen.
record, Dr. Dre, because he put me, my first cameo ever in a movie was Dr. Dre put me in Straight Outta Compton. So I don't want Dr. Dre to get this confused. You know what I'm saying? Much love to Dre, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, anybody, man. Puff, JD. I mean,
I'm just East Coast,
It's
man.
Mount Olympus versus Mount Olympus. at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Puff
That's why
Daddy.
when you said it, and everybody was like, "Yo, who's hands down here?" No, I don't have a hands down. I'm conflicted. My foot was shaking because I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
who.
It's tough.
I don't have a winner. I just want to
Yeah.
see it. With that one right there, I ain't got a winner. I don't have a pick.
I just
wanna
don't
see it.
see Dr. Dre on a microphone in the first place, because that ain't even his
But
style.
that might be
his
why
energy.
he surprised you. Don't forget he did
Yeah,
all them
yeah,
tours
element
with
of surprise.
NWA.
Facts.
His
Up
shit
in
might be
smoke.
on hiatus, bro,
Yeah.
just because he wasn't.
But
Yeah.
you talking about Puff Daddy.
Which is.
You're not talking about some nigga that's gonna be talking
understand.
shit.
No.
Goddamn,
Yeah.
some
Bro.
battle rapping.
Yeah.
nigga. You talking about nigga that did
But
average
if
shit.
Drake challenged him to a push-up contest,
It's
might
just,
be-
crazy.
it might
It's
be
just
a-
crazy. It's just gonna be crazy, man. If he get on the microphone and he say, "Hey, yo, Cube, what up?" and Cube come out and do dope, man. It's just gonna be something else.
Oh God.
See, that's the
And all of them
that's
wearing
cool.
black.
That's
all of them
crazy.
wearing black and Ravens hats, It's gonna be like,
You know why your point.
No, I mean
That ain't fair. Hold on, that ain't fair. That ain't fair.
say Mace.
Because he can't. Because Biggie
gonna
can't
say
do Juicy,
Mace.
and Craig Mack can't do Flavor in Your
You're
Ear,
right, you
and
absolutely
Black
right.
Rob can't do Whoa.
they gonna do it, man.
That's 3 crazy records: Flavor in Your Ear, Black Rob, Whoa, and Juicy.
Right.
And all 3 of them niggas is gone.
I agree.
All right.
I 100% agree.
You're right.
But Dre still gonna put on the Raiders hat and call Cube out there.
And
It's gonna be messed up.
That's
But he gonna do it, man.
Here's the other point.
no matter what,
Nah,
Dr.
that ain't
Dre,
gonna work. That
I
ain't
just
gonna
don't
work.
see in any
might not
barbershop in LA a nigga ever saying that Puff has a chance against Dre.
Nah, you can't
Nowhere
say
in
that.
LA.
Well, no,
You
they
can't say
can't
that.
do, they can't
You
do
can't
that
say
one
that.
in LA.
So
that
I'm
gotta
not
be
going to
someplace
say that.
else.
I'm not going to give it to Dre while I'm on the East Coast. I'm going to go with Puff. You know what I'm saying? Because I live in LA. And anything East, we got to argue to the core.
I agree with you on
Dude,
that.
niggas only have
I
to
agree
be
with you on that.
talented and they're going to be like,
Look, for me, it's just talent, bro.
Right.
It's talent.
Right.
yeah,
It's
but
talent.
West
You gotta
Coast
give it up.
talent is
You
different.
got to give it up. Because Puff calling out Dre, he knows that's the monster.
Yes.
Facts.
He
It's
knows
respect.
It.
Facts.
Yeah, it is.
Facts.
And if I'm going to go up against anybody, I'm going to go against the best.
The monster, not just the best.
Yeah.
Like,
Because he's not talking to Dre the same way he's talking
Talking
to
to
JD.
Jermaine. Yeah, he's like, yo, move out the way. This is the one. This is the one. It's not you. Oh, holla at Pharrell.
move out the way. Excuse me.
But it's crazy how far hip hop has came when we can talk about them doing the verses and there's no beef involved after how much beef it was
Absolutely.
in the 90s.
Yeah,
Facts.
oh God. Yeah.
Facts.
So it just show how much we've grown and we can like look at it more like sports now
Yeah.
rather than when you just had to hope your jacket don't get took on the corner when you walking
Yeah.
past some wannabe Wu-Tang type
Competition
nigga.
with no malice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No
Connie.
malice.
Absolutely.
We here for the excitement of it.
Right.
And that's what, in my mind, battle rap presented.
And the competitive aspect.
Yeah.
You want to go against the best. You don't have to hate your opponent. Your opponent doesn't have to be
Yeah,
your
but
enemy.
battle rap has gotten to where people may keep the bravado online, but this is killing people mentally. Like a lot of these battle rappers need to go see psychiatrists, and they don't realize that. Like I got a psych, I got a counselor. Like walking around dealing with all of the drama that come with this industry, you better have one, especially if you're making money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But battle rap has gotten a tad bit too disrespectful for me. For my taste, for my liking.
What would you say was the point of no return?
When Arsenal showed that, I don't even know who he is,
T-Top.
show his baby mom sucking dick on camera, that's when I was like, no. Because everybody baby mom suck dick on camera. If you think you the first one to drive that car, you
Right.
crazy.
But the first one to do it on
You know what I'm
stage.
saying?
The first one to actually do it on stage
Yeah,
and be
like
like,
actually
look, that's
show
your baby
that
mom.
shit. Like that was kind of like,
Yeah, man.
that was
crazy.
too much for me. That was
that's a
when,
lot.
and Arsenal my
Yeah, that's
man, you
crazy.
know what I mean? Like,
Right.
But it's like, that was when it was just like,
It's just going overboard.
because that's forever.
But you got to keep in mind, he lost that round. T-Top's rebuttal, breaking down his relationship with his baby mother,
Right.
is what makes battle rap crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Because you would think, oh yeah, he's losing that battle. No. His response was the best round of the night.
You got to ask
Everybody was
T-Top
in an
how he
uproar.
felt about it.
He knew
I
it was
mean,
coming.
I don't think
Right,
about
he knew it was
T-Top. I
coming.
don't think about T-Top. I think about T-Top's grandkids. Like grandma sucking dick at a battle. No matter how you look at it, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't go away. You know what I mean? Like,
that was totally.
you know what I mean? You disrespect somebody's mom, like that's crazy. I would never do that. Now passwords off the freestyle when I was going to get passwords.
Wait.
You know?
You worry about the ass stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to
That's
hear what you
forever.
say.
You know,
Legacy.
that's a
Yes, it's
forever
a
shot.
legacy conversation.
You know,
It's a
Grandma
legacy
was
shot.
sucking dick.
now so you may say like in the battle with
about your grandma
passwords,
when he did that.
I told him,
That's
I
crazy.
told passwords, I put my balls in a cup of water and give it to your daughter.
Right.
And it was people at my mom's church that ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? That was like bringing it up for years.
Yeah, I get it.
Years.
Wow.
He told this, you do this.
That's
like,
the boy with the balls in the wall.
Yeah,
yeah, you know. So I can imagine if
Giving ball water to little girls.
I
That's
can
someone
imagine
like
if I showed, you know, that's crazy.
Look, I
like,
heard what you said.
yeah, that's
just
crazy.
old folks. They
Like
love to
now,
just
now
bring
if
up old shit.
now we got real beef in real life, and then like we somehow figure out how to get in one room for a battle. That's when I think it's serious. But when y'all don't have no prior real beef, and then you just like show his baby mom sucking dick on camera, it's like
That's a
this
whole
shit
lot.
getting too crazy for me. You know what I'm saying?
We are in an era where I feel like people are more concerned with going viral than being good.
Attention is the
Just
new
talking about
currency,
that
bro.
today.
But Arsenal is good. That's what makes it worse. Because he didn't have to do that.
However,
He felt he
he
did.
might not have felt like he was good enough to win without
Exactly.
it.
He felt he did. He did it. That was in his bag. He
And I'm
brought it with
telling
him.
you,
He did it.
that next round cooked him.
See?
Okay.
Attention is the new currency.
That was the lesson.
We all need to move forward, remembering that in hip hop, battle rap, whatever it is, life in general, as far as the generation behind us, attention is the new currency.
Whether
They
bad or
will,
good.
they will blow
As a
money.
battle rapper, as two former battle rappers,
Right.
attention is not currency. Okay?
This is
It
not.
does not matter how popping you
not.
are on the net if you can't give your baby moms $100 to pay for whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that does not matter.
It does depending on who you are and what your moral standpoint is. That's what I keep trying to point out. We speaking, and I'm not disagreeing with you at all. It's not that for me. It's not that for me. I don't walk around telling people what I've done and
Right.
where I've done it and who I've done it with. But
For the people that think that,
and there's
they need to know.
And I think there's
That's
more.
not
of,
what it equates to.
I think there's more of them than there are of us at
It
this
is.
point.
It
I think
is.
they outnumber
It
us.
is. They
I
do.
think as many bags as I've seen,
That's cool.
completely
They're probably
blown.
broke. They're probably broke.
But they don't.
Thinking
They
that.
don't
You
care.
know what I'm saying? You're broke.
But they don't care.
So what? You got 1 million followers.
They don't care. That's my whole point.
So once you got
stressing
a
to you.
million followers, you meet a person who has dignity, has a wife, has stuff going on, and you want to do business with these people. And your brand matters, especially when you're walking in people who are not connected to our version of society. People that have never been in fist fight. You know this. You know what I mean? You go in there, they figure out for some reason sometimes they don't know you black.
Right.
And then you go in there and you like, you know, I do punk rock with Tim Armstrong. You know, Tim Armstrong is in a band with Travis Barker called The Transplants.
Right.
We go, you know, I take my mob, we go there, we the only ones there. Everybody got skinheads, you know, Skinhead Rob is in a group with Travis Barker and them. You know what I'm saying? I'm shaking heads with people who call themselves skinheads. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a different vibe. You get there, the food is made, it's salmon, it ain't grapes in a bowl backstage. You get what I'm saying? And you gotta conduct yourself with proper etiquette on a different level. Are you scared of money away?
Right.
Don't nobody wanna see you disrespecting somebody else's woman, because then it's just a matter of time before
you
y'all
dis-
go through something and you disrespect
that.
their woman.
Right.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So it's if you gonna get your money, like even with your show, I watched it grow. It might have been a little crazy in the beginning, any type of battle rapper coming through that you could get to have but then it got clean. It's getting to a point where it's like, you might not can't come through if you ain't moving right. You get what I'm saying? And people be so busy running for the big shiny nickel that they miss the small dirty dime.
Right.
And that small dirty dime is what you gotta stick to. That's your money. Social media is not for real. It's not. Even if you pop in, you sell 1 million records. I remember the dude with the dreads that had the broccoli song with Yachty. What was his name that had the cha-cha song? Drum. When he blew up, and he was a platinum with the cha-cha slide, he had 50,000 followers. The dude off Snowfall, I don't know if now he got 1 million followers, but for the first few seasons, he didn't even have 100,000 followers. So I'm learning that reality doesn't equate. It's like Jerome Harden. He got 2,000, 3,000 followers.
Right.
But he got 10 Grammys. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? I
Of
met him, he
course.
won 5 Grammys the same night. Drunken Love, Partitions, all this other stuff that he was involved in.
Right.
That showed me something new. Like, you can't get your money if the attention is not centered around your brand.
Right.
You can't say, I sell Pepsi, but I'm gonna run down the street naked. That ain't gonna sell Pepsi for you. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So disrespecting people on another level is cool when we was building the internet. Now you have a brand that needs to get money. I see all these battle rappers that got these huge followings and they have nothing branded. Nothing. You know, they got this one or two things they lie and say, oh, I'm about to make $1 million off of this and this and that.
Yeah.
Hoaxes.
But I feel like it's a baby culture. It's still in the baby stages.
But it
Eventually,
started with rap, so why is it still a baby?
it not necessarily.
Because
no,
even rap was going through.
contracted battles
Okay.
did not start with
You're
rap.
right. They wasn't
You know what I
when we
mean?
started, but they weren't here.
I think eventually it'll grow to the point where it's more respected, it's more popular.
Right.
But for right now, it gets dirty down there. If you're gonna go play, be ready to get dirty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I've lost a lot of money being a battle rapper. A lot. Walking in meetings, and then people just like check the shit out, and it's just kind of like, buddy, we'll
I wanna
get
hug you
with
right now. Like,
tomorrow.
yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean,
It's like,
bro.
But
But we love the culture. It's not just that. Because lyrically, battle rappers are like lyricists on steroids.
on steroids.
Factory settings.
Like the things
Facts.
that, to be able to be on the stage, and there's no offense, no production,
Right.
thousands of people, listen to what you're saying,
Every word.
and you are shaking the building with just your words.
It's amazing.
That's amazing, bro. And we can never, all the muddy stuff that happens, it's not the majority, or it's not the reason why we love battle rap. It's those reasons. The love for lyricism, the complexity, the performing.
Yeah.
We love that. You know what I mean? And let's just keep that alive. All the other stuff.
But at the point now that it's gentrified, look, I watched the interview.
Billy's saying all this because he used to say some crazy things.
I watched the interview the other day with K-Shine and how it was done.
Right.
The cameraman says, hey, you with the mask on and the hat, can you please take down your mask?
I agree. That was very disrespectful. I
You
would've
don't
told him
even know
stop
who the
interview.
man is?
I would have told him to stop it right now.
You don't even know
You're
who the
getting
man
paid
is?
to record me and you don't know my name and you're saying,
Right.
hey, you. Nah,
I'm sorry.
that was crazy.
But
Yes.
that is not new.
Right.
That is not a new thing. Them
Right.
disrespecting us as a whole
So I'm gonna tell you
culture-wise
this.
is not new.
As brothers, we can go in the backyard and fight, but we're not gonna go in the front of the store and fight.
Oh,
And I feel like that's what a lot of battle rappers do. Y'all disrespecting each other for a new whitewashed thing. It's the whitewash. It's not what we know. It's not, yo, this dude is mad nice in his hood. He mad nice in his hood. We gonna come together even if money is involved. It's gonna be real, and he gonna be with his home. Now it's like, it's so watered down. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes the mics ain't even right. Dude ruined his whole life when he get on stage because he ain't get a solid mic check. So y'all rather get 100 at the door than make sure a nigga got his mic check together? You get what I'm saying? Like,
That's a shot at the leagues or the league owners or the people running it. I don't think that
Bro,
we need to put that on
it's
battle rap.
no way that y'all get
but you gotta know.
with
You
a
gotta know
group
your
of
business.
people.
Listen, it's a mixture. Battle rap is a mixture now of hip hop and wrestling.
Yeah, you're right, it is.
So if you ain't gonna judge the wrestlers for all the crazy stuff they doing, don't judge the battle rappers.
Right.
Because that's what the culture
but
is.
in 1996, they had to put out that wrestling was fake. Otherwise, they was gonna have to pay sports tax. So we know wrestling is fake.
Y'all don't know battle rappers they're not really killing.
there's always,
Right.
They're
there's
not really
always
doing
somebody
that.
who
Right.
believe it.
Don't think
When
it.
we get to the level where where these dudes stop trying to live what they write, you're not a good writer if you're trying to live what you write to me. You know what I'm saying? You should write what you live.
Right.
Two different things. These battle rappers like
But it's not just battle rap, this hip hop.
yeah,
I was
hip-hop
about
period.
that's what I'm.
Right now, the
Hip-hop
Lils,
period.
as you like to call them, the Lils. They're out there, yeah.
What?
What? The Lils, I think that like the drill movement, as talented as some of these guys are, I think that the message and
It's genocide.
It's not, yeah.
It's crazy genocide, like unheard of. You go online, they like, yeah, such and such killed 9 people, and he rapping. Like, it's like, what? How y'all even know this? Who are these people that's making these videos and these robot voices exposing Chicago? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are these people?
do the same thing, I swear to God.
It's crazy. I'm confused because
Right.
I separated myself for so long just to try to get that, like, the internet was ruining my life. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like separate myself. I had somebody else running my page, answering comments and everything, like whatever. I didn't want nothing to do with it.
Right.
And then to come back to it and see it's so much worse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people really dying, people getting shot up. Being a rapper is a dangerous job.
Yeah.
You know, like you
Most
can
dangerous
really
job in America, baby.
You feel what I'm saying? You can get smoked at any second, whether you
So
big
now
or small.
I gotta ask. In your during your courses, do you break down lyrics? And sometimes the lyrics there's violence in the lyrics. How was that explained? How is that translated to maybe somebody in your class that lived in the suburbs and the most violent thing they saw was the Uncle Jimmy yelling at his wife?
And we talk about lyrics all the time.
Right.
But at the same time, it's kind of funny that the rappers are not given the same license as actors and actresses. Right?
I was wondering that.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of actors and actresses, they can play a person killing 50 people and then take it off, and then if they're good enough, they win an Oscar for it, right? Rappers have so much of responsibility that they have to be able to live what they do. You know what I mean? But we still examine lyrics. But
Well,
now
at least
you're
give off
dealing
the perception.
right. But now you're dealing with a generation that don't like to listen to lyrics. For the most, not to say for the people, for the young people that watching, I don't want anybody commenting. I'm 19 and I listen. I'm not talking about every 19 or 20-year-old.
Right.
I'm talking about if you talk to majority of kids this age, the lyrics is not the most important vehicle. People don't, this generation they don't look at hip hop the same way we do. You know what I mean? It's more of a feeling of an experience.
Right.
That's it. The nuances of what it is, what the person says, what the sample came from and all that, it's very seldom that you'll find some youngins like that, but there's not a lot. And if you talk to them, it's like, man, I ain't got no friends because the way I listen to music, nobody else does. But a majority of them don't. They don't consume the lyrics and consume the music the same way we do. But the problem with that is they don't understand that this shit is like a diet. Whatever you consume is going to affect you anyway, even if you think it doesn't.
But I do got an answer for that. It's something about the way the auto-tune rides the bass that if it ain't no auto-tune on it, it's stiff. And it gives you an old feel.
Right.
And I think they love the auto-tune riding the bass
That's the experience.
more than they would love for somebody just stiffly rapping and
Over
busting
a
a
joint.
move, trying to get some lyrics off to you. Because you got people like Murray, who's a great lyricist, but he know how to bend the auto-tune.
Right.
So, you know, it give you the new school satisfaction. You can find a common ground. You still got Coles, you got Kendricks, but when I listen to them, I still hear the auto-tune, even if you don't hear it out of tune.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
can
don't
tell
hear
it's
like
in
the way.
key.
I think it's Melodyne.
Yeah, no.
Not
Melodyne is
auto-tune.
kind of dead. Auto-tune, like Melodyne is almost dead to me. You know what I'm saying? Unless you really go in with a Mike Dean or somebody, they don't even know how to do Melodyne. But the AFX, instantly going on to your voice and sync, because all auto-tune do is sync you with the bass. You get what I'm saying? So once you synced with the bass and it's riding, you can't change that feeling. That's why Future is from the Dungeon family, but he not rapping like the Dungeon family. Because that tune is just smooth, bro. Like, I don't know if we could ever go back to listening to music. Like, it's kind of like Pro Tools switch from when Mahalia Jackson and them was singing. We didn't really want to hear Mahalia and that stiff sounding like you in the studio on the record. It just kind of died. And I think that's what died with the monotone rap we was doing for so long. Kick, cat, coon, coon, kang, coon. Now it's
a melody, it's a flow to it.
But there's still people who appreciate the raw element, especially if you go and see these artists live.
Of course.
They can't do that live.
Of course.
So it's like, it reverts
If
back
you
to
run it through the Pro
first
Tools
attraction.
on stage, you can.
Yeah, you can.
That's
do it,
what Travis do. You can run it through the Pro Tools on stage.
Run it through the Pro Tools on
And
stage.
you'll get your auto-tune. But at Rolling Loud, they didn't give him his auto-tune this year, and it did sounded crazy. You know what I'm saying? It do sound crazy if you ain't got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even Kanye come out, he got the auto-tune in the mic. You know what I'm saying? But
But we're forgetting the attraction of it. In these neighborhoods, there isn't gonna be somebody standing on the corner doing auto-tune.
Right.
but we were attracted to hip hop, the ciphers, a guy in your hood that he could rap real good, or there was a couple of them. Other people coming to the block to battle him. That kind of like formed the community. That kept things like, this is cool. I can go into another neighborhood where usually you're not supposed to be there. But if I rap, who the best rapper out here?
I got to pass.
But when the last time you seen a nigga dressed nice singing like Sam Cooke? It's over. It's over. The singers can't even sing no more really like they used to. So the singers fell off first. And now the rappers is falling off after the singers. Because there used to be singers on all these corners. It wasn't rappers.
But even with the auto-tune and with the bass, it's still a generation of kids that will say to me sometimes once we start to break down lyrics, they'll say that rappers are not saying anything. But not saying anything is subjective. That's subjective too.
Right.
That's why a lot of kids like the kid Rod Wave, because Rod Wave really has something. He talks about relationships, he talks about distance, he talks about that.
Right.
And they really can jive with that, even if it's in a new way. Because they're still raised in a house where their parents listen to stuff that has substance in it.
Right.
Whether the substance be about relationships, whether the substance be about whatever it is, it has to have something in it. So and I think that's something Lil Baby is figuring out too. I can have an auto-tune, I can do whatever, but I gotta start saying something now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like something.
But if we go back to where it started, the stories are missing. The stories.
Right.
There's nobody that's
I mean, Von was killing it
Fire
with that
story.
then, you know?
But the guys who
Rappers
tell the
is dangerous
stories
job.
shoot to the top. I don't understand why it's
yeah,
so
I
difficult.
think people
to,
are missing that.
Yeah, because
Hold on. You said the guys with the stories shoot to the top?
Shoot to the top.
J. Cole
The guys with the
don't
record
do
deals shoot
no,
to the
no.
top.
J.
No.
Cole don't do no features. Will kick a story and will make all the money you can make and hang with anybody. Sell out all the crowds.
Kendrick.
He's a different breed. And so is
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
Let's go. But understand, there's a similarity
Right.
to the guys that
They have
still
incredible
hold
backing
the
though
top.
too.
Yeah, but I'm not. But see. But now we're getting away. We start moving away from the talent aspect, which is what we were discussing, and now we're getting into the bells and whistles. The littles go with backing.
See, the
You go with the
littles. The littles.
You got to tell me where I'm lying though. You give them backing, they go.
Right.
Those records shoot to the top of the charts. I'm talking about people who's with or without backing. If the auto-tune were to break on stage, it's not a problem.
Right.
That thread of talent has never left, no matter what era we've gone through in hip hop. The best MC was the guy at the top. Fuck whatever, name an era. Jay, Nas, Pac, Biggie, Kendrick, Cole. We named them like that because it doesn't matter the snap era, it doesn't matter what era we went through. The guy that everybody was afraid of was the one who would come out with a mic and bust your ass. Busta Rhymes, whatever era. Bust had a hit in every era. Jay comes down off his mountain, everybody gets shook.
Wayne.
Scares the fuck out. I've been in buildings where Wayne was getting the same energy that Kendrick is getting now, which is, does anybody know when this motherfucker is coming out? We gotta plan our whole year around what this scary ass motherfucker is about to do. And he ain't got no auto-tune, he ain't got wild shit happening with his hair, but it's over when he shows up. When he comes out the house, everybody gotta go back inside.
But that level of authenticity is hard to fight.
Right.
Back to
Now, I think it's a trap if you fall into that wave of doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. Because now you're easily replaced. I don't have to give you a seven-figure deal. Because I can find you anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing what you're doing.
For sure.
spitting him.
Matter of fact, leave the song here. I have somebody else do it over.
Right.
For sure.
You feel me?
You didn't write your lyrics, so it don't matter.
I mean, that business day one though.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So we can't push the culture into a direction where, yeah, it might sound good, but we sound good too.
Right.
Who we are sounds good too.
Right.
Telling your story sounds good
Sounds
too.
good.
And that also helps the next generation. Because now I'm hearing your stories, I'm gaining your experience. ahead of time. What experience am I gaining if you're going from topic to topic, every single line that means nothing? It just sounds good.
Right.
What?
You know what I mean? It's like talking to Loaded Lux. It just sounds good. You don't know what he's saying. Right. You know what I mean? You don't know where he's going.
Right.
It just sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Lux, I'm just messing with you, man. Don't take it personal.
Lux is the first person that ever paid me for a battle ever.
Wow.
K-Shine. We went 10 rounds in there. They only got 3 online.
Shout out to Lux, man. I wish the Lions Den would come back.
We just did a 360 in the room. We literally just spun the block. Because from the start of the conversation to where we are now, he just described the grill.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was trying to remember the name, so
Just
the
described.
grill.
Just described, telling the story.
Back to the original, the start.
The message.
Wow, the message.
That never gets old, bro. The best we've ever had always have been able to tell you the story. And they always stepped away from where Ja Rule didn't start making those ill-ass records till he found another approach to do it. When he started singing over his records and still maintained all that authenticity, all of a sudden he's doing triple platinum. But that wasn't the case. He was about to be out of here when he was just telling regular old thug tales like everybody else because he couldn't do it better than the people who were already doing it.
50 could do it better.
He snapped, but then that's the Ja Rule formula. Yeah, that's the Ja Rule formula.
And that's a law in the 48 Laws of Power. Preach difference, but change nothing. And that's exactly what happened in that situation. But let's not spin the block no more. I do want to get into the business side of it real quick.
And I don't agree with you that 50 didn't change anything in that situation. He did take Ja Rule's style, but he did put out Lloyd Banks. He did some real...
Having a better A&R ear doesn't mean he changed the style.
Nah, I get it.
I mean, but Ja Rule didn't do that. Ja Rule had mad floppies on his team.
Yeah.
Nobody made it.
Again, there are certain artists.
It was murderers.
There's a lot of artists like that.
What did Jay say to you? Produce the record. There's certain artists out there who are functioning A&Rs and who are very fucking good. Rick Ross has one of the best ears, as far as I'm concerned, as an artist, like for finding, like not only finding talent, but like putting his own records together. That motherfucker's amazing. Right. What he did, Meek Mills was not that guy.
Right.
Until that, like he was that guy, but he wasn't what we see now. Right. Like after he got a hold of, look at Wale's success, the records he was able to make.
I still think that
and he
Dr.
tried to
Dre
sign Emcee.
holds
the cap.
He holds the cap for that.
I mean, California is a lot different though.
Yeah.
It's a very big place.
If you name the top artists from that region, Dr. Dre's attached.
Well, they had to come through him,
right.
but he did discover Easy. He did turn Easy into.
That
adds to your point.
I do want to ask because I'm sitting in front of a writer and a producer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How do y'all feel about ghostwriting and ghost production?
Oh my!
I don't want to speak on it. I don't think ghostwriting should be spoken on. I feel like telling who you wrote for is like telling who you fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how is that the same thing?
Because y'all got a bond. Y'all got a bond. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
I'm not asking you to
I ain't gonna tell nobody I did this for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get your money. If you go tell, you ain't gonna let you hit no more.
I get it. I get it.
And I write for mostly women.
Mostly women. But not rappers.
Rappers, some rappers.
How do you, okay. In that category, would you place them as the greatest artists?
Ooh,
if they
here
have
we go.
Hell yeah.
Here we go, buddy.
Yes. I still do. I do. Maybe not in the category of maybe the lyricists, but they do go in the category, because I feel like being a star is so much harder than being a writer and producer. That's how I feel. You got to be that all the time, no matter what. 90 producers, 90 writers, this label, according with this label, and all that for marketing, and it's all on you. No matter what, it's on you. So if, like Elvis, never wrote a record, sold 1 billion records. I went to his house and looked around at all the plaques. He sold more gospel than anything. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, so it's like, Elvis's estate makes $50 million every couple months. You know, so it's like he deserves that though. He died in the bathroom in the house taking a shit. Like, people don't be paying attention what these artists go through and how much you gotta sacrifice. They just be like, oh, did you write it? Did you do this? Did you do that?
Right.
Like, if you could go out there and you can carry the shit, then I'm gonna respect you like an actor. If you could take something somebody else wrote and you can make me believe that it's you, that's a whole nother thing. That's another art form since the beginning of time.
So-
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll never knock a nigga because he got a ghostwriter in a record business.
Oh, I will. I absolutely will.
Yeah, we know you
100%.
will.
Yeah, knife.
Ghostwriting, as far as being a great artist, absolutely not. Right? But when we get into the conversation of greatest MC of all time.
Oh, hell no. You can't have nobody write for you for the greatest
Okay,
MC.
Okay.
No
All
way.
right. So,
Not after I seen KRS-One jump up and down on stage until he was soaking fucking wet. Yo, that shit was like watching Michael Jordan play basketball, my nigga. I met him in a parking lot. He was like, yeah, come with me. So I rock with him. We get to San Diego. It's mad people outside this venue. I'm like, so what's up? He's like, yeah, man, come in the venue with me. He make me stand on side of the stage and shit. And I watched the nigga like Michael Jordan. Like, he don't miss a word. He know how to just bedazzle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a whole shit that he do. So you can't have a nigga like him be so great and then be like, oh, but it's cool for the nigga that just shoot the three in the corner and can't dribble.
okay, so yeah, you agree. All right. Ghost production.
Ghost production for me is, you know, some people use ghost production as a rite of passage.
Rite of passage,
Like
like
paying
yo.
dues?
Paying dues.
Okay.
Right. And I think it's more, with ghost writing for somebody, you're just writing a record for somebody and then they just going and do it and they going to whatever. With ghost production, there's more of a tutelage there when it comes to the person you produce. Even if a bigger producer puts their name on something, I bet you that producer had come in after you played the beat for him and says, oh, I think you should do this, or maybe you should turn this up or turn this down.
Right.
There's still some type of tutelage there.
Right.
Right? But then the particular rap or whatever, particular producer put their name on it. But then they'll go in the meeting and say, yeah, blah, 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 but this is a producer that helped me with the record. To get that producer some work. That's a majority of how I've seen ghost production. Now, when it comes to my team, the Soul Council, I don't take anything they've done and put my name on anything. That'd be Crisis, E. Jones Cash, Knots, Eric G, Amp, Soundtrack. I don't put my name on none of their stuff or whatever. But if we're doing a movie and they want Ninth Wonder the name, then I'm going to get my producers to do some things. But then we all go to the meeting and say, okay, this is my team.
Right.
So then the people can say, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. Ghost production is used more is an uplift than it is ghost writing, I think.
But there are some bad stories.
Of course.
Oh,
Of course it's a bad story.
I give you $2,000, never see you again.
Right.
It's a hit. It's the biggest hit in the world.
Right, not
Oh,
right.
you got
No, it's worse than
$2,000.
that.
Yeah.
Drake in the interview say he don't get no publishing on sicko mode. So if this happening to Drake, I know it's happened to me on some huge records. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes come in, make the beat over whatever you writing, and then like take the beat to the next session and give it to the artist, and now the artist like just mixed around what you doing, and then if you don't go to ASCAP and kind of put yourself in a debacle, because even if you mix the record, you can go to ASCAP and put a freeze on the record and say, yo, I mixed this, I deserve publishing. A lot of people don't know that.
That's the protection.
Yeah, ASCAP and BMI are your protection. You can go in there, because I worked with an artist, he ain't give me credit on nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I got a great relationship with Chris Brown, so I ain't really mess with the records that Chris Brown was involved with, but for the rest of the records, I was up ASCAP like, call him up here, because I did this record, I wrote this record, I produced this record, and that's what I had to go through to get my first publishing. That's how I learned the game. Like, he wasn't gonna give me nothing. Zero.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? And it just was like, kind of crazy for me, you know what I mean? So you got to build a relationship with your publishing company. You pay them, you know? They won't even let you leave the publishing company until it's like July the next year.
Right.
You can't even leave because it's that serious, legally binding you to that company. So go to ASCAP on Sunset Boulevard or downtown in New York and build they have to. They will place records for you. They will do everything for you. But people don't even show up. You go there, don't even be nobody there.
Right.
Wow.
So people don't even know how it works. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I'm from the new school. I love ghost beat dudes. You want me to walk in there with this fine ass chick that I just bagged? I will walk your beat in there with her. I didn't make beats before. All these industry people I know is friends from like other stuff happening, and I'm just a battle rap dude in the room. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like battle rap will get you places.
Yes,
but
it will.
Ghost beat, people making beats and sending them to me to send to other people and us splitting the pub, that's a thing. That's a big thing for me. You know, like I ain't made the records you made, so I got to get in where I fit in a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's records that I've been nominated for Grammys for that I didn't produce, you know, at all. You know what I mean? But I got pub on it because I made the play.
So Ninth, is there anything you can add on how writers and producers can protect themselves?
Just making sure all of your paperwork is straight, man. That's the biggest thing that you can do. A lot of times, a lot of artists and producers, let's be honest, we all been in this. Some people are so eager to be in this that they willing to get got.
Facts.
They be telling you they want to get got.
Facts.
You can tell them exactly what, they don't want to hear the truth. You can tell them exactly what they want to hear, and they will walk off a ledge to be in this. And sometimes they feel like that's what they need to do to be in this. They feel like they need to go through some type of strife.
Did you?
Or get sucked. Who, me?
Yeah.
I've never succumbed to that. You know what I mean? But some people are so eager that that's what they feel like they need to do. But the best way they protect themselves is if they learn everything they can, know everything about BMI and ASCAP, know everything about their publishing and things like that. But some people are so eager to be in this that they refuse to even want to learn about it. Just to say that they're in it, which goes back to what you were saying. It's all about perception. It ain't about being knowledgeable. It ain't about it ain't even about being good at the music. It's all about perception and the numbers and the likes.
And please, this is so big for producers and writers and battle rappers and people who just got Facebook pages. Figure out a post-mortem way to survive and exist with your music. Because it's a graveyard of talented millionaire people's music that they family can't get the money after they die.
Right.
And ASCAP and people like BMI keep the money after 6 years. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's happening to us on the daily.
Really?
You know, like you got this great show. If something happened to you right now and somebody else about to hold it down, or is it over? That matters. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're not going to create generational wealth. And by the time it gets to your kids, because I got contracts, you know, I got two theme songs on Disney. You get what I'm saying? The NBC contract is I own 95% of the records. You get what I'm saying? The contracts is so switched and swashed around that I can fight to get what I need to. I can audit, but they're not gonna let my family audit it because my family didn't make the beats and they don't have no attachment to it and I didn't give them none of the publishing. So sometimes yearly you gotta go into your publishing and break it down. Oh, you got a daughter now? Okay, that 40% you had, take 35, give 5% to your son, give 5% to your daughter, and then if something happened to you, they can go argue for the whole 35% just off of owning the 5 when they audit. I audit for my 5%, I found out what they owe daddy too. So it's like, we gotta teach each other and stop being hoes. Like, this game is full of hoes. I bend over and get fucked. I can't wait. People tell me, that's all I ever hear. I never hear, yo, let's get this money together. I'm gonna work as hard as you, we gonna get it. I always hear, even if I got it. They come with that. Even if I gotta get fucked, I'm down. I know everybody get fucked. Like, I didn't get fucked.
Whoa.
I got $100,000 2 months after working with Christina Milian. $100,000, you know what I'm saying? Now, I don't like how I was on a publishing company that didn't really have an urban department. So that's something I didn't think through. So they didn't honor the contract, but I got all 240 of my compositions back because they didn't honor the contract. You get what I'm saying?
Dope.
I got out of my pub deal. I don't have a pub deal no more.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I got distribution through Empire. What I do is I build the records up on Empire because they even count Facebook views. They even count Instagram views
Shouts to Gazi.
as record sales. Big shout to Gazi. You know what I'm saying? And after you build them up, then you sell them like any other company. Okay, these records is doing good. I'm gonna sell them to this company and we're gonna do a 50-50 split. I'm gonna sell these other 5 records to this other company. There's so many independent labels that will pay you for your intellectual property, even if it's not selling. I got records that done made $400 a year for me and I get $30,000 for the record. You get what I'm saying? If you don't know the business, then you don't know how to deal with it. But you can walk to all of these independent labels, and I doubt if you're gonna go to 100 of them because it's thousands of them. Thousands of these cemeteries where they just collect intellectual property. If you need money real quick, you ain't gotta sign your whole fucking life over. That's because you didn't want to go to 100 places. You went to the first place, and that's where you bought your clothes and they don't fit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you ain't got no more money and you own by these niggas. They own your likeness. They own everything. You can't do nothing. And you gotta kinda just retire at that point. We watch I seen Block Boy J just post something about, oh, my shit is ready and all that, but I'm just waiting for a date. What, you on parole, nigga? You feel what I'm saying? I can't live like that, no. I lived like that before.
Well, have you guys been following this Karen Civil thing?
Karen Civil is good people's, man, and she from Elizabeth, New Jersey. I met her at Cash Money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She changed a lot of people's life. Y'all expecting perfection out this black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's messed up. Like, she built a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Just let it be what it is at that point. It ain't nothing to bicker about. A lot of times, us as black people take on somebody else's fight.
Sometimes people get so big that they slight people.
But I mean, that's Oprah, that's Wendy Williams, that's everybody.
Yeah. I said that last
You
night.
you gotta sit on that throne with the bravado, nigga. It's people that don't want you right here, right now, and they feel like, nigga, you should be in jail or something, nigga. And there's always gonna be people that feel that way when you progress as a black person, because you gonna be dirty when you came out the mud.
Yeah.
You're gonna be dirty. You can try to act like you're not. It's gonna always be somebody of another race that say a joke to remind you a nigga.
You always gonna be a villain in somebody's story, no matter what.
Right.
And with the whole Karen Civil thing, like I was on Clubhouse talking about last night, I end up being in this room because there's just 50 million rooms about it, right?
Word.
Yeah. But I was saying that, they was making a room about it, and I was like, man, what y'all gotta understand is she's a part of a construct. This is the construct she's a part of. And if you're gonna get on her about something, let's go down the line of people that you can quote unquote get on about something, about honoring somebody's contract. And that's no diss to Joyner Lucas. If he feel like he was wronged, he was wronged. I don't even know the
60,000.
60,000. I don't know the whole extent of the conversation or whatever.
Right.
He feel like he was wrong. Go get your money, dog. That's what it is. But the particular blame doesn't start with her though. You know what I mean? It's just a part of this nasty industry that we're in. This is what it is. And that doesn't make it right.
Right.
But that's just what it is.
There are also artists who just don't. I don't want to sound like I'm defending fuck shit. I don't know the specifics, so I'm not even to say nothing
against. The specifics is she took people's money and didn't promote it.
According to the. And what I will say.
You're always a villain or something.
Right. No. Right. I'll go back.
Has anybody in here met her?
Yes.
She's a fucking great person.
She's good. She's good people.
I don't see the snake in her.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick. I understand it's the connections that she has.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So if she takes her percentage off the top for her connections and then feeds the work out to the people she's connected to and they don't do nothing, the person who was expecting something to be done, they're gonna look at her. They're gonna look at her like, yo, what happened?
Right.
And she has to look that way. But these are still her connections. Without them, she wouldn't have got the check. So how do we see our way through that?
If that's the case, then it's and I'm talking from somebody who's been in that perspective. I've been in that situation. I've done before A&R work, I was doing PR work.
Right.
There are always people. The main thing I learned how to do, and we talking about a situation with Joyner Lucas that happened years ago. you have to imagine she's gotten more business savvy since then. You learn to cover your bases. Sometimes you don't know these potholes till you already step in them and break your ankle. Like you don't, if I'm leaning on somebody to be a sure shot and they fuck up and I've already paid them, now I have to figure out how to make it right. Now that's my own personal integrity. I paid this dude to do a service for you specifically because this is my contact. He fucked up, whatever it was, merch, shirts, whatever it was he was supposed to do, he fucked it up. Now I gotta figure out a way to get that back to you. I got to figure out a way to get that.
Right.
No problem. What I've learned, 9 times out of 10, the 2 people in my career who managed to go to me and say, yo, you jerked me, you robbed me, were people who stepped to me in the first place with no real clear understanding of what was supposed to happen, and I did a bad job of explaining to them what was going to happen, what they were paying for exactly.
Which would sound like a hustle.
I did a bad job. I thought I explained it, and they yesed me to death. And I said, okay, they got it. And they didn't really have it, but they yesed me to death. So I took them at their word, and then when it all started falling apart, in the back of my mind, little stuff that they were saying had me like, this motherfucker don't really get it. He don't really understand what's happening right here. He thinks this is supposed to get him, and that was never a part of the deal, and he don't get it. And now as I see things unfolding, I'm trying to explain in the process. And it sounds like I'm scamming. It sounds like I'm trying to make up for some shit because what he thought was gonna happen was never on the table.
Look, I'm gonna just be 100. A lot of these things are under the table situations, and that is the problem.
Right.
I did a record with an artist. He paid someone to play the record. That person jerked him and asked for more money. He came to me. We pulled a rundown. He got his money back. The record got played once, but after that, I couldn't get anything in that building.
Right.
Because it was, you ran down on us, but you robbed someone.
Right.
So these under the table
I'm
situations.
not gonna lie, I got that situation with one of the biggest networks in the world. I found the ends through an artist, through a big famous artist, you know what I'm saying? Probably the biggest artist in the world, being in that little camp working.
Right.
We paid the nigga $10,000. The nigga did nothing at all.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Now,
Hey, your name's Philly Swain,
bro,
right?
you know,
okay.
it's like,
Right?
bro,
Hey, I'm from Brooklyn.
bro,
That's, you know.
I still can't sleep with that.
Right.
But I've also known what it's like for somebody to sell me some bum work, and either I'm gonna go make the block hot, or I'm just gonna count my losses. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you in this to make $1 million. So what's 60? You know what I'm saying? Unless you die,
But you're also playing on
Unless that was
people's
your
hopes
last
and
60,
dreams.
right.
No, it's
There's
not.
a lot of these artists are coming from the bottom,
but
bro.
no, look, sometimes people get paid in, like the person that paid that for me, I'm not paying nobody no damn $10,000. I ain't paid for a feature in my life, you know what I'm saying? I got records with Schoolboy Q, the biggest people in the world. But I feel like the person who got paid, even though it's on them in my head, I know when they went to the meeting and paid who they paid, that person fronted on them.
Right.
And they don't, you know, we put the nigga on the payment plan.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But it's still gotta count, it's a business, a record business.
Assuming that's the situation.
Right.
Assuming that what happened was I paid him, he fronted, and now I'm assed out.
This has happened to me so many times that I know it's part of the
But
game.
why not just do good business?
Because this, we
people
talked
be
about this when
middlemen.
Q-Tip was here, bro. The business, the culture of business does not involve the word good. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you can negotiate. It's me walking out of the deal with more of my shirt than you. That's how I win. And hold on. Let me just land this.
Go ahead.
It sucks. I'm not sitting here telling you it's cool. I give away free advice on my Instagram every Monday, trying to make sure artists don't go through it. I don't want to see it happen. I hate that song. I can't stand it. It pisses me off.
You know who was like you? Suge Knight.
Jesus H. Christ.
But they villainized him.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But he was, like, if you do your research on Suge Knight, he was all about you're owed this, you're owed this, you're owed this, you're owed this, you owe us this, this is ours.
I know Chalk. You know Chalk, the producer that the Vanilla Ice stuff happened with? Chalk, my man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what was they supposed to do? Just let Vanilla Ice run off with the bag?
Oh,
Yeah, like what and in these situations,
It's so messed
and I
up,
want people to
man.
be clear. If you out there and you're not doing good business, you might be playing with somebody who's not gonna go for it.
Right.
Facts.
This is their dream.
Right.
They're investing their like their life savings sometimes into these situations
But in hip-hop-
with the hopes that you will help me get where I'm going because
Right.
you're saying you're going to. And when it doesn't happen, sometimes you got to deal with the consequences.
I've
But-
turned down deals because I knew I wasn't the guy they were looking for. I'm a publicist.
Right.
What you need is a booking agent.
Right.
I'm a publicist. What you need is a manager, nigga. Like you don't need a PR. You need a manager.
Right.
I'm not the guy for you. How
Right.
about you? Let me go on my phone and try and find you a manager who because everybody is under this impression that the first person you pay, you gonna make it. The issue is if anybody, say this to anybody who wants to hear it. If anybody in this business promises you any kind of like success, they are lying to you.
Right.
You can't promise any. You know
It's all
what
a
told
risk.
you.
It's all a risk.
It's
You
all
know,
a risk.
you know what told you that you were going to get that success that they promised you? Your ego. And your ego was lying to you before anybody else did. Joyner Lucas isn't making the kind of music then that he is now. But this is the stuff you wanted Karen Civil to sell. And I don't know any of the dealers, but you have to take so many things into account. Your music has grown. Your style changed up. Your production got better. All kinds of, the tone of the music business in
So
general
why is
changed.
this coming up now, though? If it's
Because
from past?
she lost a defamation suit that she brought to somebody else,
It's-
Jesse Wu.
It's kind of like the Me Too of
Right,
hip-hop.
and a lot of people came out on some old, see, I told you she was dirty,
Yeah,
I told
she
you
was
she was
doing-
dirty,
see,
I told
she
you
did
she was
this, she
dirty.
did this.
And
A lot of people-
all those skeletons come out of the closet, but are they really skeletons? As a person who's been in that lane, I've had to tell people as a publicist, I cannot, under any circumstances, guarantee you that the person I play the music for is gonna like your shit. That's off the rip. What I can do as a publicist, what I can do with my phone, my magic phone with all these numbers in it, I can promise you that the person who needs to hear your music, I can put you to the front of the line. I can make sure that they at least listen. I can get you a fair shot. I can get you a better shot.
After that, it's out of your hands.
Right. With me, you get a better shot than you have on your own. You don't have the contacts to walk into this place on your own, but I can walk your music in there. I can press play. I can make sure they listen. I can get critique on the spot. If they have any, they might just be like, yo, this is dope. Or they might be like, it's not really for me. And I can take that back to you. Now, if you don't, my problem was whenever I got it's not really for me, and I came back with it, it was,
You didn't do it.
I need my money back.
I mean, this is how artists are. You call them, you tell them, look, I'm about
Again,
to fly.
that was under the table.
I'm about to
By the
fly.
way.
I'm about to fly.
No,
in the
no,
night.
It was under the table.
that
It was
wasn't
in
under
the
the table.
contract for that.
I'm gonna fly in the night and I'm gonna have a dinner meeting about your music. That's $60,000. She gonna take the private jet. She gonna fly to the most expensive restaurant. She gonna stay in the right hotel, and she ran it by you. It may have ran by you and not walked by you, but she told you she was about to do this. I'm about to fly in. I'm having a meeting. It's an emergency meeting. I'm gonna have a hotel book. Just because you ain't no financial manager, you get what I'm saying? You didn't realize that she told you. I'm about to spend 60 bands tonight, and she didn't tell you no guarantees. She get there, the person not fucking with your shit, she done spent all the money. She was caught up in the swag, it didn't work next. That's how I look at
That's
it.
that.
That's it, 60,000 gone
Mine
one
wasn't
night.
under the table. Mine wasn't under the table. Even if we signed agreements, when we did sign agreements, they got exactly what I said I could deliver. You get my communication, you get my hard work, you get my transparency, and here are the marks that I'm looking to hit. And I listed every place where I've ever had a placement. Here's all the places I've had a placement. These are all the places I'm going to aim. These are where my relationships are. These are the places where I'm going to present your music. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to come back to you with a list of checks
Right.
and X's.
Right.
Nothing was ever like, this is not.
So what's to stop you from talking about the new Marvel movie while the demo is playing?
Oh no.
You feel what I'm saying?
My
You
own
feel what
level-
I'm saying? Like, how do you stop that?
My own level of professionalism. But here's the thing. if I'm playing music for homeboy and he starts talking about the Marvel movie, that means he don't fuck with the music. That's your answer. That's an X. If his mind starts drifting and he's not
But
listening
that's not
to
what
what's
people
being
pay
said,
for. People pay for you to represent them. So if I'm in a room and my music is playing, he starts talking about the Marvel movie. Yo, fam, I need you to listen to this.
and you'll get that from
You might be like, yeah, that shit was crazy.
Nah, but
Did you see it?
because
Yo,
then
Thanos when he did the
then I'm not.
You know
Then
what
I'm
saying?
not. But then if I'm that guy, I'm not getting the results. Like if
Right.
I go in there just to clown around, I'm not getting the results. It doesn't behoove me to come out with an X versus a check. That don't do me no good.
Right.
Your record don't do nothing. Like you don't get the attention, I don't get the placement. That don't make me look good.
Right.
I just got the money. That's one check. I need to eat for the rest of my life, bro. Like if you don't, my shit is results. I need you to go back and tell all your friends, yo,
That you
Mac,
made it happen.
Mac got me in here. Mac did, yo, when I got shout out to Dot Demo, when I got him when I got his record
Shout out
premiered,
to Dot Demo, yeah.
when I got his record premiered in Billboard, that was a Billboard said
you
yes.
did that?
You're fucking right. Fucking right. Got him a fucking premiere on Revolt, like, and he was
They gonna
nobody.
be in his DMs after this.
Nobody
They
knew
gonna be
who
all in
he
his DMs.
was. But I had to have a bunch of conversations
Right.
about a Marvel movie to work my, you know what I'm saying, to get in that pocket. We had to talk about
That's
other
respectable.
shit.
That's respectable.
And the money that I was being paid didn't all go to my pocket. It went to a lunch with the editor so we could talk
You're not
about
on
the
trial, man. It's all right. You're not on trial. You're not on trial, bro. You're not on
I just
trial.
hope it works out. I hope it works out.
I feel like whoever paid you watches the show, and you're like, I need to let them know.
you get triggered.
I
You
feel
get triggered
exactly
because
like that too. Like you talk, hey brother, whoever he ain't me.
Yeah, he didn't do that. Hey, that's not what happened.
You
all right?
get
You had ambiguous expectations.
you get triggered when someone refers to you as a thief because the results weren't as tangible as they wanted them to be,
yeah.
or as they thought or
No,
assumed they were gonna be.
I definitely understand that.
I've even given bread back. Like I had an artist, brought him out.
You're spinning the block. You're spinning the block. You're spinning the
I'll
block.
shut up. I'll shut up.
spinning the block.
It's
I hope it
not.
works
It's not.
out. I just hope. I hope
Yeah, I
hope
just
it
don't
works out,
look,
man.
man.
I hope it works
Thank
out.
you, because I'm spiraling now. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You gotta have the bravado to sit on
I
your
gotta
throne.
be careful when I invite you. Somebody might be looking for you. Somebody might be looking for him right now.
That's all right.
All right, before we go,
Right.
top 10 producers.
Jesus, what are you doing right now?
Asking you the great questions.
Top 10. They
Okay.
could be ever and they could be right now.
I'll do ever.
Okay.
Gamble and Huff.
Ooh, that's what? What? Do y'all even know who Gamble and Huff is?
No.
You see my
You
face?
don't know who Gamble and Huff
Oh,
is.
I
Okay.
really don't.
Gamble and Huff is Teddy Pendergrass, the OJs, the Sound of Philly.
The Philly sound.
Look, you ever see the dude that be with Gilly with the braids? His dad is Leon Huff.
Leon Huff.
It's Leon Huff and Kenny Gamble,
Yeah.
Philly International Records.
Philly International
Michael
Records.
Jackson's Rock With You album, right?
Yeah,
Didn't he
well,
do it in
before
Philly?
that, the one before that.
Okay.
But
Off the
yeah,
Wall?
Off the Wall, I think, right? That was in Philly International.
Gambling Huff.
They
Legendary.
They're responsible for the theme song, "The Soul Train." Okay.
Okay.
But all of the soul stuff that came out of Philly
Hey,
in the
LaBelle,
70s
all that.
is Gamble and Huff.
Wow.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Salute. That's 2.
Yeah. Dr. Dre,
3.
Dilla,
4.
Definitely. Duh.
Rest in peace.
DJ Premier,
5.
Pete Rock,
6.
Pharrell,
7.
Timbaland.
It's getting tight. This is getting tight.
The RZA.
RZA.
9. Last one.
9.
And the reason why I believe me, Pete, Dilla, Madlib, all of us are here is because of Q-Tip.
10.
Yeah, because Q-Tip is the one that's got us. He's the one that changed hip hop from. Not to say he was a soul person, but he was the main proponent to change us from sampling James Brown and all the funk stuff to jazz records.
Right.
Yes.
Amazing. Shout out to Tip, man.
Yeah.
And I got one more thing. October 3rd, Saigon versus Vado is going down in Atlanta. Wow. Are you guys familiar?
Is it
Everybody's
versus
familiar.
or a rap battle?
It's a rap battle on beat.
Oh, wow. Shouts to them both.
Can I get a pick on who might win?
I don't know, man. They both my niggas, too.
Yeah, they both hard.
You thinking about it?
I am.
I know you leaning Saigon. I can tell already.
I don't know, man.
I can tell you're leaning in that direction. I can tell.
Sai.
Sai? Bigger.
Vado.
Vado. Sai. He said shit.
Shit is not one of
Shit
the
is
people
not one of the
around.
options, bro. Sai.
Vado.
Vado.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
One day Knife might work with either one of them. And this show will not be the reason why that doesn't happen.
Me and Saigon got a record together, but
Right.
shouts to them both, though.
Okay,
Sure.
dope.
When is it now?
It's Emcee War. It's going out October 3rd.
Okay.
It's Saigon versus Vado. Charlie Clips versus Untitled is a whole. You can get the link to the tickets will be in the description. Go check that out. Word. Any last words?
I left out Babyface and Teddy Riley. I'm sorry. Those two needs to be added regardless.
Okay, we got to go back and just put that clip, like, place it. There's no problem.
I just feel like you left out Quincy Jones, man.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
That's the
like,
one I was waiting for. Quietly.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
I mean, I asked for 5, and he gave me 10.
Yeah, I thought you said 10.
I thought you said 10.
No,
You
he
said
did
10.
say
You
top
said
5.
You said top 10.
thought
You
you
said
said
10.
10.
This is where it reverses and it shows that you said 10.
Okay, we could go back and do that too. All right, cool. That'll be straight. Last words.
Mechanism Monday, show up, get some free advice, help yourself out.
Stay safe.
Sure.
You ain't got nothing to say. You an artist? And you have nothing to say? Nothing to say? This is what's wrong with this new generation. They not saying nothing. I mean,
Jesus Christ. The parade, Spanish fried chicken.
Spanish fried chicken. Moody. TailorMadeLifestyle.com. Grab the sweatsuits.
Hey, man, this is great for hip hop. That's all I want to say, man. You came a long way, bro.
Salute.
You know, a lot of people doubted you and
We
hated
both
on you,
did.
and you always was my guy, though. No matter what nobody had to say, Math always been my guy. And people counted you out, and I know they want to sit in these chairs, and it's like fucked up, you know?
It's all right. It's all right. I love it. Those be the best episodes.
Right, you know what I mean?
Hey,
So-
word. I love that.
Man, I'm with my
If
man.
anyone wants to enroll in your classes, where do they go?
Rock Nation School has a website. I mean, most of the time, in my DM, I just send you a Zoom link you can watch. Pretty much. I'm like my man, though. Stay safe, for sure.
There's a Zoom link. You do these like it's
Like some classes I'll do.
Streamed
Zoom.
online.
Yeah, you can just watch.
Oh, that's dope.
yourself,
I gotta catch them.
Yeah, pull up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Send me
Yeah,
one
do it.
next time.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool.
Pull up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Great episode. We out.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.